uh, kind of speechless. So coming on here is a therapeutic session. I know some people gonna want to let me have it, so they can let me have it. But just an absolutely pathetic, disappointing. I don't know even how to even describe it. It was the absolute most pathetic performance I ever seen on a Cowboys team. I've been a fan my whole life, so we're going back a long ways into the '80s. I lived through some rough years as a kid in the '80s. I lived through some tough times in the late '90s and the 2000s. This is probably the worst loss, most embarrassing loss, most pathetic loss. And I said before the season, and I know you guys are starting to hop in, man. Hop in the chat. Might do the phones, let you guys vent it out. But, I'm in too deep, man. I've been a fan, and thankfully, the only thing I could say is I was able to see the Cowboys win 3 Super Bowls. My son is 19 years old. He's lived this life. I don't know how he's lived this life the way he's been able to do it and still be a Cowboys fan. Because all I can do, and people say, "Man, you got your cave, you got all this." These are most of this stuff is the memories of the good old days, man. It's the memories of what we had and what we accomplished as a team, and it sucks because we've got the best fan base in the world. That's why I'm a Cowboys fan. That's why I love the Cowboys. It's really, what I say is going to the games is it's a bonus. It's a bonus because getting to hang out with Cowboy fans and stuff like that I'd never been able to do when I was a kid. But it's definitely need you guys to let it out. And like I said, I'll open up the phones if you guys want to call in. Let me know. I will throw the number down there. The only thing is with my phone, you got to be kind of. I'm makeshift, man, so I use my phone to do it. So it's going to be different. But we heard Kelly. Kelly was at a bar.
Don't Stop Believing played over here, and despite what you might think, man, there's still Cowboys fans.
All you can do is laugh at this point because it's so goddamn frustrating about everything with these Cowboys. But how do you show up in a game like this? And I'll say this, and maybe Kelly will jump on. We'll see how he's feeling. But I'll say this is I said it before, and I got to be consistent. I said if this season ends the way it just did, they got to make some wholesale changes. And, the one guy who always seems to get a pass, and I know people say that, we need to hire him, is Dan Quinn needs to go too. I mean, I'm just calling for what it is. That was an embarrassing performance. You were going up against a young quarterback making his first start. You're going up against a defense that was not very good. You had all these opportunities, everything going your way. And the one thing we talked about when on our show this morning, the glimmer of hope that they had was being able to run the ball against us, shorten the game, time of possession. Will make some stupid mistakes. Sure enough, did extended drives in the beginning, and it sucked. It sucked, and I see you guys all in the chat, man. I appreciate. All I can say is we got to go through this ourselves. I'm gonna open up the phones in case you guys want to call. It's up to you. I came on here for therapy, man, because it is very, very disappointing, and it's hard for me to. I'm like, man, if I don't get on here and do something and at least talk to my people and really let the haters, all you haters that want a piece of me, now's your time. I'm not hiding. I don't hide. We lost the game. It was embarrassing. I'm just honestly, I feel for the people that went there. I feel for the fans that went to the game and had to sit through that performance. No defense. Where was the defense? There was no defense. Did they punt the ball? That's what I'm saying is a lot of these times, man, Quinn gets a pass, man. And we saw it. We saw it in Buffalo. We saw it in Arizona. And we saw it in the game here and absolutely got our ass whooped, man. There ain't no way to talk about it. And like I said, the thankful thing for me, people say, Cap Mike, why you Cap, man? We got to get, I'm done with this team. I've been 30 years. I'm done. Well, I'm 40 plus years with this team. I've been a fan since I was a little kid. I've seen 3 Super Bowls. I remember the 3 Super Bowls. I wasn't in my diapers. I wasn't in elementary school. I was just graduating high school and on my own. So I have a good memory of it, and that's the memory that I keep. But I get it, man. The people that are fans that are in that bracket where they didn't see it. I don't know how you stay a Cowboys fan, man. You guys, it's tough, man. I'm speechless. I cannot freaking believe what I saw. And it was funny. I made kind of a joke about it. I'm listening to these pregame shows, and they're just absolutely just killing us. I got a call here. So when I take the calls, it's going to have to be kind of weird. So just give me a second. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail. I mean, I'm just going to throw you. I'm just throwing these callers in. So hang on a second, caller. Let me flip you to in there. Hey, what's up, man? Who's this? Joe, what's up,
Mike.
Man? Hey, what's going on, brother?
Just an embarrassment. I mean, to sit there and think this was an opportunity with a 2 seed, and I said before this game that Mike McCarthy needs to win 2 games for his job to be safe. You have an opportunity of a lifetime to get the NFC Championship game and put the past 28 years behind you.
Yeah.
You're playing a young Packers team. You were 60-0 at home. Philadelphia tanked. Everything was lined up, and you came out with that performance today. And I agree with you about the Dan Quinn thing, too. I think Dan Quinn, I think there needs to be a clean coaching staff. I don't know how but Jerry Jones can't bring back Mike McCarthy. And the question that started coming about Dak Prescott and where do we go from here? I said before this game, if Dallas had not made the NFC Championship game, or if the Eagles lose tomorrow, that Bill Belichick will either be in Dallas or Philly next year. So it could be a 2-way race with Bill Belichick. And I do believe that is going to happen. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When do you think Mike McCarthy's getting fired? I don't think there's any.
Hang on one second. Hey, guys, when I take a caller, don't call yet because I got to hang up with the caller before I can take another one. I don't have a board up, man. This is just me using my phone. So just be patient with me because I know someone from Austin's calling in. So just be patient. But sorry, Joe, go ahead.
Yeah. When do you think Mike is let go? Like, when does this have to be announced? I think the latest by Tuesday.
I think
honestly, is he back? Is he back next year?
I mean, here's the thing that sucks is McCarthy, you're going to have to, if I stand by what I said, is you got to clean house. You cannot have the same results every year and keep the same thing going. And that means, and I hate to say it, and if he's back, I'm fine with it because I'm not going to put it on. But Dak Prescott, this was an opportunity for him. You had such a good season. Bonehead interception. For the pick 6. Yep. The other interception, great play by the defense, but still not a throw that you want to make in that spot.
To Michael Gallup.
Yeah, and it's just, so I don't know what they're going to do, but you can't keep the same. You can't. You either change the quarterback, keep the coach, get rid of the coach, keep the quarterback, I guess, because I don't know how the whole financial thing is going to work, but they got to make drastic changes because the results have been the same. And it's unfortunate. The guy wins 12 games a year for 3 years. They'd have a parade for him anywhere else. But this has just been too common, and you just can't keep going down the path getting the same results. That's just my opinion.
No, and that's the thing. And I think the way this game ended, there's absolutely no way. I'm going to be very curious how Jerry Jones answers these questions tonight. But not that he'll lose the fan base, but something's going to be happening with Mike McCarthy. Has to happen fast. I mean, that's the reality. Like, this was we should have been playing next week and the following week after that, and that's what's disappointing. To get your ass kicked the way we did by the youngest team in football, Dak Prescott's been there for 8 years.
Yeah,
we let the Green Bay Laws go in 2017 playoffs because it was Dak's rookie year. Okay, yeah. We lost to the Rams on the road. Fine. You lost to San Fran last year. Fine. This was the game you had to win to shut the critics up.
No excuse.
And now it's going to be noise all week.
Yeah.
No excuse.
No excuse
Very
for it. It's just, it is. I mean, I feel it. And that's why I get on here to hopefully this will make me feel a little better because I'll be straight with you guys. I booked my flight. I just canceled my flight. I canceled my hotel. I had everything set up to go next week. There was no doubt, but that's why they play the game. And that's why you got to be prepared to play. And this team was not prepared. That's got to fall on the head coach. But the players have to be held responsible as well. And I know it's not all Dak's fault. Dak didn't give up 48 points, but he didn't help. And he's got to take the brunt of the He's got to take the brunt of the blame too. So I appreciate it, man.
Him and CeeDee Lamb are off. They seized him and CeeDee Lamb are off all game.
Yeah, it was
from
odd.
The get-go.
It was odd.
Pass he dropped.
Yeah, it was just you knew. The thing I always said about the Cowboys is I could tell you within 5 or 10 minutes of the game, and I'm sure you can too, and I'm sure everyone there, all you Cowboy fans can too, if they're going to win or lose. And they just looked like shit coming out. And they just never got into rhythm. They never just got. And I was like, man, maybe before the half, you go ahead and you get that. And then he throws the pick six because you score. You get the ball again. All right, now we're down within 6. Things can change. And it just totally flipped, on one pass. So it's tough, man. But I appreciate the call, brother. We'll get through it, man. If you've been a fan as long as I'm, this is starting to become numb to it. You're starting to become numb to it. So I appreciate it, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take care, buddy.
Take care. All right. Well, that's how it works, man. You guys call in, I grab you. And then just if you wait till someone else hangs up, then I will and then you call again. But that's what I got, man. If you guys want to call in, man, just voice your frustration. What do we do? I'm hearing Belichick. Do you guys really want Bill Belichick? Do you want Bill Belichick coaching this team? Do you really think that is the answer? I don't. And maybe I'm in the minority of it. I'm just watching Bill Belichick now, and I just don't know. I think if you're going to make a change, I think you've got to go young, offensive-minded coach. And not Kellen Moore. So I don't want to. We got another call. Hang on. I don't want to overreact on anything. Hang on. Let's see if this works here. Are you there?
Yeah, Mike, I'm here.
Hey, what's up, man? Who's this?
Hey, it's Jeff.
Hey, Jeff. Help us out, man. How bad was that?
So, as you said, you can tell in the first 5 to 10 minutes. Been there, done that, seen it all too often. The one thing I'll say, okay, Dak made a bad play on the interception. He struggled a little bit early, but they still put 32 on the board at the end. And he has the connection with the receivers. Ferguson had a big game. But the first play of the game, they sacked Jordan Love that could have set the tone, but Deron Bland gets called for a holding penalty.
Yep.
And gives them a fresh set of downs, and everything just shifted from there.
And hasn't it been that the story? Hasn't that been the story? Yeah, extending drives.
And how many...
Go ahead.
How many penalties on kick returns today?
Yeah.
Several penalties on the special team for holding and interference, and even the touchdown that we scored went for 2, got it. Tolbert gets called for pass interference, then Aubrey shanks it off the upright.
Yeah,
so,
but
I
just want to let me echo your point that you make, because you make great points. The penalties. The penalties early. We talked about it. We said it. You cannot have it. You get a play where they're going to punt, then extends the drive. They go down and score. Then you get them pinned inside the 10. Sam Williams, the dude's calling fair catch. There is nothing that you need to do, dude. Get the hell out of his way. And I know the guy flopped, and then the next thing 15 yards. So instead of being inside the 10, they're outside the 25. It changes everything. It changes the way they're play calling. It just changes everything. And that's the things that just continue to happen with this team. And, unfortunately, either we keep going down the same path, or you're going to have to make changes. Now, I don't know what they are. I don't want it to be knee-jerk.
I honestly think McCarthy and Quinn. The defense. We've talked on your show. We've seen it. It's been in the chat. Everybody's brought it up. Everybody all week kept saying Aaron Jones. Why was nobody spying him the entire game? You knew that that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to control the clock. They wanted to run it down our throat, and we just stood back and let them do it. Quinn had no answers. He made no adjustments. So add the penalties and the bonehead plays. That falls on the head coach. No adjustments on defense to stop what Green Bay was doing. That falls on Quinn.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but why does he get a pass?
Right
why
there,
does Quinn get a pass? I mean, is his pass
he
over?
He shouldn't anymore. He shouldn't anymore. The way Buffalo ran the ball down our throat, the way Miami made us look at certain times in that game, hell, the way Seattle made us look, even though we won that game. We had some teams shove the ball down our throat this year, and for a defense that was supposed to be the way it started out the season with that caliber, too many games we gave up 30-plus points when we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And they kept talking about it on the radio on Sirius, saying Dallas plays more man than anybody in the league. Dallas plays more man. But yet, sometimes you have to make adjustments somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. How about the third down? How about the third down with Micah Parsons? You have him in coverage instead of rushing the passer. He dropped in coverage, and then they end up making that big play.
Yeah. Again, there's no excuse for it. That's where Quinn has lost his passes, his 3 passes.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. It's over.
Yeah. No, I'm just. I feel the same. You always want to take a deep breath. We're 5 minutes, 10 minutes after the game. It was humiliating. It was disappointing. It was everything that that we talked about. There's no excuses. Green Bay, you guys deserved it. You're the better team that day, man. That is it, dude. You guys call me every name you want. I talk the shit, and I got to eat it. That's why I'm on here. So none of you guys can say that I'm hiding in my cave or I'm running around. I'm here, man. And Green Bay continues to own Dallas, but there was a time in the 90s where we owned them, and we just can't get back to it. So, but I appreciate it.
The sad part is I think Jordan Love made us look worse than Rodgers or Favre ever did.
Oh, he did. He did. I mean, I haven't seen Jordan Love play a lot, but he ended up looking like just an he looked good. And the fools that we were to think that their defense that gave up 30 points to Carolina, that got destroyed by Tampa Bay, that was lost to the New York Giants. And this is all within the last 5 games. I'm not talking about early in the season. Yeah. But our offense, in our offense, that's what we do. I mean, the points the game was a beating. The score does not indicate the beating that it was. I know we finished with over 30 points. Don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself with that.
Well, I looked at the last time I looked at the stats was around the end of the third quarter, so I haven't seen the final. But when I looked around the end of the third quarter, our defense had no sacks and only 1 tackle for a loss.
Yeah, no pressure.
So again, Dan Quinn gets no free pass. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no adjustments, man. I appreciate the call, brother.
No problem. Thanks, Mike.
All right, man. All right, we'll get through it. See you. Oh, man. Well, I appreciate you guys calling in. And like I said, you guys are helping me. I don't know if I'm helping you, but you guys are helping me. See, I couldn't even wear my cowboy. I had to go old school, get me some too short, but I still wear my Cowboys hat. I'm still in the cave. We will get through. We will get through it. And I know Bobby's my Eagle fan, but he's a good dude. But I don't know why we played so much zone. Oops. Let me grab this. So we got another call. Hello? Hold on 1 second, guys.
To accept, press.
Hey, you there? You there? Hello? Hello? Hey, you're on with me, man. I know you've been calling. What's up?
Yeah, like all I can say was that that was just by far one of the most terrible playoff games that I probably have ever seen. I mean, out of I've been a Cowboys fan since 2016, and this is the talent that we saw from this was it was not tolerable in any way. And all I could say was just, there's no words from what I saw in this game.
No. Now let me say, how old are you? How old are you? And what's your name? I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to ask your name. What's your name?
Keifel Ortiz. I'm Keifel Ortiz.
How's it going, man? Well, how old are you?
Yeah. 18.
Yeah. So you're like my son's age. So I feel for you
Yeah.
I don't know how you can. I mean, how you're a Cowboys fan and you can live through this. Like I said, I always have 3 Super Bowls I was able to see at your age and older, so I got that to hang my hat on as memories. But it was. I'll help you out. It was the worst loss in Cowboys history ever. I'm telling you, ever.
Yeah.
On any level, any playoff regular season, this was the most humiliating defeat that this organization has ever had. Period.
Yeah, and I'm gonna agree with you this. Like, I mean, like the one reason like we go for this team is because of its history. Like we were probably one of the first ever teams to have 3 Super Bowls only 1 year apart. And with that being said, we still don't have that. We still have we just don't have that ability. And even though we have the ability to dominate every other season, it's just to me, I feel I don't even think the draft or anything like that is ever going to help us out.
Well,
in regards to yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say what you need, honestly, what this team needs, and I've said it before, it's really a culture change. And I know I'm going to get off on a tangent, and you may call me a boomer. It's mentality. It's the mentality of the team. The mentality, we have talent. You got 9 All-Pros. You understand? 9 All-Pros we have on this team.
Yeah,
that's voted by the reporters. That isn't our fans talking. So how do you have 9 All-Pros and you can't get out of the first round and you get your ass whipped by the 7th seed team that got beat by the team that you combined beat 70 something or 80 something to 10 or whatever it was? I don't understand how that can happen. And it has to be cultural. It has to be in their head. It's got to be something with the culture of the organization is not breeding the type of success. You saw Jimmy Johnson. You didn't get to see Jimmy Johnson coach. He had more passion in his halftime show trying to speak to the Cowboys to wake them up than I've ever seen on any players this whole game.
Yeah. And because this is another one of the things that gets me mad. The fact that we have weapons both on our offense and our defense, and especially with Michael Parsons. I mean, of course, you saw those penalty calls that he finally got out of this entire time playing for the Cowboys as a linebacker. But the thing that really pissed me off more than ever is how Dak Prescott literally interceptions are the one thing that ruin every game for the Cowboys. And of course, I'm pretty sure you remember from a few years ago, so where the Cowboys played as worse as they did the 49ers back in the 2022 wild card. And that's and just to be honest, and I'm saying this from the Cowboys perspective, they literally are the garbage team to play in the playoffs, without a doubt. That's one of the things that you can say. And they have not played the way that they needed to, ever since Troy Aikman retired.
Yeah,
and that literally goes to show that if we're going to be a lost cause for God knows how long, I'm literally running out of words to say.
No,
because
it's good, man. No,
anger. It's tough. I don't the reason why I chose to be a fan of this team is because of how my dad's family, they've been Cowboys fans for probably ever since the late 80s, and when they went on to win 3 Super Bowls in the 90s, that is really it's from my dad's perspective, his history of being a fan of the Cowboys is what made me want to become a Cowboys fan. And
no, don't worry, man. It's all good. Hey, listen. I'll let you roll because I know it's frustrating. You're like my son. It's the same thing. He was born into this. He had no choice. But listen, just keep doing what you're doing. Things will get better.
Yeah.
It'll eventually work itself out. But it's a bad loss, man. So I'll let you roll. But I appreciate you popping in, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
All right.
And I think I don't even know if I have this. This is what these teams think of the Cowboys when they play in the playoffs.
And usually during the offseason, when they bring the schedule out, we would chalk it up as a W.
And that's what these teams think. Eugene Lockhart said it, and I think that's what a lot of these teams say. Now, let me get in the chat, man. I apologize. I'm trying to take calls. If you guys want to call in, definitely do. Dak looks scared from the start. He didn't look good. He just did not look right, and it's just another playoff disappointment for him, and he's going to have to own it. And for all the MVP talk, I mean, Yeah, I think that ends there. Let's just be honest about it. Look at the bright side. You could be a Jets fan. The only thing I'll say that's benefited the Jets is they know they stink. And you're kind of conditioned to that, where the Cowboys make us believers and they get us on this pedestal, and then the next thing you know, they just rip our damn hearts out. Let me grab this call real quick. Let's see, we got another one. Get this on here right quick. You there? You there?
Hello, how you doing this evening?
Good, man. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Mike Tag? This is Clayton Lee. I met you a few years ago at a Cowboys game. You gave me a shirt. I just want to shout you out, say you're awesome.
Oh, appreciate it. What game was it? What game was it? What game? I'm trying to remember.
I don't even I don't even remember anymore, buddy. I actually I don't even know if I met you at a game. I know I ordered one of your shirts and got it, and yeah, I live in Florida now, so it's just like you, I'm up in Jacksonville, though.
Okay.
But I just wanted to comment on this Cowboy game.
No, definitely.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a complete shocker. Our defense was absolute garbage today, and I don't know what's up with Dan Quinn. Maybe his mind was already on another team, on one of these other teams that was interviewing him, because that defense was not prepared to win that game.
No, they weren't.
I hate to say this. I do not think that Dan Quinn needs to come back as defensive coordinator. I do not want him back, even if these teams do not hire him. I want his ass gone. I do not want him back on my team. Dan Quinn needs to go. They need to get a younger guy in there that will relate to these players. And I just don't know if Dan Quinn is the guy anymore. No. And honestly, I'm not gonna blame this loss on McCarthy. You can go ahead, y'all. Y'all can go ahead and do that. This loss is on Dan Quinn. I mean, how do you allow that? How do you allow, you know what their game plan is. They're going to run the ball. How do you allow Aaron Jones to do that to you? Okay?
Yeah.
They were not prepared for this game on the defensive end. They were not prepared.
You're 1,000% right.
That's inexcusable.
Yeah.
I do not blame McCarthy for this loss. You do not get rid of Mike McCarthy. You get rid of Dan Quinn. That's my thought.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm a McCarthy fan, so it's hard. Like it's hard for me, and I don't I don't want to have knee jerk. I do think that Dan Quinn has always gotten a pass in Dallas. For some reason, the fans have always given him his praise, and I think this defense, if you look at our losses, our defense has been shredded. And it looked like they're not prepared, and we're out schemed, and that's what I've seen. So to your point, I've said it is like, why is McCarthy get all the heat, but Quinn seems to be getting a pass? So something has to change. The only thing I'll say is you can't keep going down the same path and getting the same results, because that's just going to continue to happen. So you've got the quarterback who's basically been here 8 years. You've got McCarthy. Now this was his first year kind of owning the offense, and we saw the offense definitely was better. You have Quinn that's been here. Something has got to change. So if it's Quinn, then fine. But they've got to do something drastic, because it's just, we're going to see the same thing. This story has been written every year since we can remember, and that's why we're the joke of all the other teams. And hey, we got to own it. It is what it is. It's gotten to become a little comical now, the way that we find ways to just lose in playoff games in the worst possible way. For this to happen against this Green Bay Packer team, this team that had no playoff experience, first year kind of starting quarterback with Love, a team that their defense got tore up by the Bucs, tore up by the Panthers. And that's the performance that we put out. And then our defense can't stop them once, can't stop them twice, can't help, because the offense started getting back into it. But every time they did, the defense just gave up another huge long drive. So to your point, maybe it's Quinn needs to go and keep McCarthy. I don't know. Something's got to change, man.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think Quinn, it's time for him to go, because like you said, it seems like that McCarthy would always get the heat, or hell, even when Kellen Moore was here, he would get the heat. And freaking Dan Quinn, he just never got any heat for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like he was the golden boy. I mean, I don't know why that is. And I mean, it's not like we've had some all-world defense with Dan Quinn. I mean, I don't understand what it is with all these Cowboys fans. Oh, Dan Quinn, he's the savior. We got to keep him at all costs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just not seeing it. I mean, Trayvon Diggs was a huge loss. Don't get me wrong. But every team has big losses, injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not an excuse, okay? You've got to change something with the Dallas Cowboys because you can go out and win 12, 13 games every regular season, but at the end of the day, that's not going to tell the story. It's what you do in the postseason. And it just seems like during the biggest of moments in the postseason, they cannot put it together. And we saw that again today on display with them just getting absolutely embarrassed on the defensive end of the football. Our offense was not terrible today, like you said. And that's my thing. I mean, the two interceptions by Dak Prescott, I mean, do you put those on Dak? I mean, was that a
the second one I do.
Dak Prescott?
The second one I do. The one that was for a pick six. The other one, the guy made a great play on the ball. They were right there. He beat him to the ball. I mean, it's an interception that happens. I'm not going to kill him for that. The pick six. I got to put that on.
The pick six, the second one, I will give you that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But if you, but that's what I'm trying to get at with you, sir. You're awesome. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I gotta ask you this: Who, if you had to pinpoint one area that this loss is on, would you say it's offense or defense? For me, it's defense.
Oh, it's defense all day. No, it's the defense.
Yeah.
It's the defense. The defense gave up 40. What did they give up?
Perfect either.
Yeah, it could have been 60 points. I mean, they showed it was a mercy. They showed us mercy. I mean, they had their backups. You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, we made fun of other teams with our backups. Their backup was in the game halfway through the fourth quarter. They could have put 60 on that. The defense didn't stop them once. Did the Packers punt once? I don't think they did. I don't know. I kind of started losing interest. But no, it's 100%. I would say it's 100% to me on the defense. The only thing I would say is, what do we do? I mean, what do you do as an organization? The results are the same. So, all right, get rid of Quinn and change the defensive, up a little bit and get that going and get McCarthy. You're fine with Dak. You re-sign Dak and you kind of get him, and you just kind of you stick with what you got because you know what you have with him. So.
Well, see, that's my other thing is that everyone is automatically assuming that you re-sign Dak. And I'm in the same boat, but from everything I've been hearing, he's going to be looking to get almost $50 to $60 million on each of this upcoming contract.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that you pay Dak Prescott $60 million this season.
Do you roll with Trey Lance? Do you roll with Trey Lance and see what you just roll the dice with him? You got him. He's on the bench. He's been there the whole season learning the offense. Do you roll your dice with Trey Lance for a year, draft a quarterback, and see what happens? I mean, you see these other teams are getting quarterbacks, and you see these guys coming in more prepared. And I'm just venting to everyone. I'm kind of throwing stuff out there to see what you guys want to bring back because something has to change. Something. Either your quarterback, coach, defensive coordinator, things have to change going into next year.
Our running game just wasn't that good this season.
Terrible.
I feel like they should have given Deuce Vaughn more of a damn chance this season.
Yeah.
I don't know why you draft a kid and you don't give him any chances. You make him inactive. I mean, who is it? I mean, I feel like the backup running back, Rico Dowdle, if that's how you say his name, Rico, he had a better season than Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard is going to want big money this offseason. And I'm not sure you give it to him. If it's me, I'm not giving Tony Pollard because I believe, if I'm correct, he was playing on the franchise tag this season.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's going to be through the roof next season if you try to put him back on that.
No, they're not going to bring him. Pollard's played his last game. They're not going to bring him back. They're not bringing Pollard.
That's where the change occurs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they move on from Pollard. I think you make Dowder the starter, maybe sign another one in free agency, but you're definitely going to give Deuce Vaughn a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to improve that running back room. I do not think Pollard is back.
No, I don't think so. But hey, man, I appreciate the call. I'm glad you got the shirt. Listen, man, we're gonna get through this. You're a fan as long as I've been, so I mean, you remember the good old days.
Oh, yeah.
And here's what I'll say to you guys:
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys want to enjoy the good old days. I got Tony Hill coming in a couple weeks. I got James Washington coming in. We'll just relive the Super Bowl years. We got guys coming in here, these Cowboy legends. We're gonna focus on that in the offseason.
All right,
All right, man. I
Mr.
appreciate
Tag.
it.
You have a great night.
All right.
You take care, buddy.
Thank you, man. Take care. Bye. All right. Hey, Frank, give me a holler. I know you. I know Frank was calling, but yeah, I mean, it's people need to relax. It's one game. No, I understand it's one game, but this has just been a constant. And I know Kareem. I don't know how long you've been a fan. Hopefully, it's been long enough. You're getting the same results every year, and I think that's where the frustration is with Cowboys fans. Hang one tight. See, this is, when you're running solo, this is what you got to do. So let's see. Hey, you there, Frank?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Hello?
We got a call from Germany, my man Frank. You got to be frustrated. We were messaging each other during this game, man. What do you say? Turn down your radio or the TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Turn down your radio.
Yeah, I can hear myself. Not that I don't like hearing myself talk, but you know, people probably don't want to hear it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you good, Frank, man. What's going on?
Man, I'm good.
You can't be good. You're pissed off, man. I know you ain't good.
I'm not pissed off. I'm a Cowboys fan.
You're used to it. You there, Frank?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what's up, man? Talk to me. You're talking to the people. What's up?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah.
Well, what's up, man? But what do you want to talk about? You're on the air. We got 100 people here.
You know what? We lost terribly today, but you know, we're still Cowboys, and we're the best fucking fan base in the goddamn world. All right, so we lost. It was terrible. I sucked it up, and I'm good.
So no changes. You just we're going to let it roll and regroup and be back next year. Roll with the same squad. I mean, if Quinn wants to come back, you're good with him being back. Keep McCarthy, keep Dak, keep rolling with the way we're doing. You're good with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too fucking early to draw conclusions. And ain't no Quinn and Mike and everyone. We lost terribly today, and we just have to suck it up and lick our wounds and see how it goes tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know.
No, I feel you, man. I feel you. Well, I appreciate you calling off all the way from Germany. I know we're supposed to link up this week. That's not going to work out, or next week, I should say. But we'll talk soon, brother.
All right.
All right, man. All right.
See you next week, man.
Take care. All right. See you.
Call from
Uncle Cheech.
No, we got Uncle Cheech calling in. But Uncle Cheech, are you there?
Yes.
What's
I'm out 5 large to this.
I know, and we all. This was, thankfully you didn't make this your lock of the week, but that was a disappointing performance, and I don't know what. You're an outsider. All you care about is money. You care about this. You care about that. As an outsider looking in, what are you doing with this team? You just leaving things alone?
No, you got to make some changes someplace. Either defensive. Well, your defense was good all year. You had a bad game.
Yeah, they had a bad game against the Bills. They had a bad, I mean, there's been a few, but I'm just saying he always gets the pass. I mean, do you continue giving the coordinator the pass, or does he have to feel some heat too? He's probably leaving anyway.
Well, he's probably leaving anyway.
Yeah.
More than likely. What do you do with the head coach?
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a tough thing because I like McCarthy. I think this was just a bad defensive performance, but they weren't prepared. And Uncle Cheech, you owe my man Bobby some money because he took your bet and you owe money. So
Who?
you, Uncle Cheech, you owe Bobby.
I owe money.
You owe money. You owe the man money. You gave him a pick. He trusted Uncle Cheech. He trusts the cave, and that's the thanks he gets.
Well, he fucked up. He trusted.
All right, Uncle Cheech. I got another call coming in. All right.
Who is it?
All right. I'll see you, Uncle Cheech.
Who is it?
I think. Well, is everyone drunk? Has everyone been drunk out here? Who do I got on here? Whoops. Who do I got on here, guys? I'm losing these people. These people are drinking. Maybe I'm waiting for Kelly to call in. Hello? You there? Mikey? Who's this? Mikey?
Yeah, you hear me?
I can hear you. What is
Mikey
up?
Schefter.
What is up, Mikey? Mikey Tartaglia, the Mikey Schefter, we call him. What is your take, man? You fall in the line of a Cowboys fan that at that age group that this is kind of your way of life. So what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I think that I must be cursed. I don't have one good memory when we played Green Bay. It's all been bad memories. Bad memories.
No,
horrible memories.
I had to give.
I don't understand.
I had to give.
I don't understand why it happened.
No, I had to give my concession text to my buddy who's a Packers fan, and I just said, "You're still our daddy." I mean, we cannot beat the Packers. I don't care who the quarterback is. The only one that we beat on a regular basis was Brett Favre. I mean, that's how far back we got to go. I mean, Matt Flynn destroyed us. So yeah. So no, definitely.
But I mean, this was worse than those Rodgers games. I mean, honestly, this was worse than those Rodgers games.
Yeah.
At least those Rodgers games, we were close.
Yeah. This was
murder.
This was the worst loss in Cowboys history. Worst loss in Cowboys history for when you put everything together. Now I think back, we got beat by the Bears 44-0 in 85 on a Thanksgiving or something like that. And we got trounced by Philly, I think one time near the end of the season. I think that was a Romo year. It was like 44-10 or whatever it was. This loss, worst loss, and you guys tell me if you disagree with me. If there's a better one, you tell me. But worst loss in Cowboys history for everything that it meant, everything, the opportunity that they had in front of them. You're 16-0 at home. You get to home. You got 2 games. You're guaranteed at home, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So, but I just ask you: Are you good with Dak? I mean, are you going to jump on the wagon and get rid of Dak? Are you going to jump on a wagon and get rid of McCarthy, or do you think this thing can be kind of continue to work itself out and try and bring in some pieces, or what?
Well, I mean, I'll start with Dak. I love Dak. I respect Dak. I respect everything he's done, but I think the time is up.
Yeah.
Honestly, the time might be up because I look at all these other teams like the Niners, the Packers, and they have these low ball quarterbacks, cheap, and they're doing great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, but then they should have more pieces to build around them. But it's like, I don't understand why. I mean, Dak does all the talk in the media. Oh, I want a bigger hat. Where was that energy today?
No, I mean, where was that energy? Talk is cheap. Like, here's the thing, and I appreciate it, Mikey. Let me let you run. We got another caller that's gonna be popping in, but I appreciate it, man. Okay. I know it's tough. Another caller can jump in. I saw someone calling in. Again, I can only accept a call when I hang up a call. But, it's okay. That's why I try and tell people. I can talk mess. Cowboys Nation, we can talk smack. That's what we do. That's part of being a fan. So you don't need to come at me and say, like you think my life is ruined. It sucks. Don't get me wrong, man. I don't like losing. I said I'm a sore loser. I mean it. That's the way it is. But we could talk. But when a player talks and a player elevates and then you don't show up and you don't back it up, that's where you kind of lose a little bit. You just kind of lose a little bit. And we've seen that with this Cowboys team. And I'm not going to name names of players and this and that, but it's a lot of good one-liners, a lot of good quotes, a lot of good this, but you got to show up. I mean, you got to show up. They did not show up to play. You had everything in front of you. You had a home game, 16-0 at home, 38 points a game. Oh, you dominated at home. Then if you win that, you had another home game. And then you had an opportunity where one slip up, you could get a third home game. And they absolutely shit the bed. You can't put it any other way. I'm not making it. Can't make no excuses. That's just, they got to own that. And it just sucks. It's but ride or die. No, and that's the thing. We're ride or die Cowboy fans. And it's and it's just the way it's going to be. So if you guys want to call in, the number's on there. Like I said, if I'm on the phone with someone, I've got to be done with them. I got to be done with them. And
to accept, press 1.
All right. Well, here's one. Go ahead, Ultra Man. You give it to me.
Hey,
what's up,
Mr.
brother?
Mike?
How's it going, man? How's it going?
How you doing? It's your favorite asshole.
I know. Hey, and the thing is, I love you, Ultra. The only thing, and I'm going to say it to your face while we're talking, the only problem I ever have with you is when I have a guest on. I just can't. I can't have people insulting my guests, man. I work too hard to get them.
I'm not insulting your guest. I'm just going against what he's facts.
I know, but you do personal attacks against someone. I can't do that. I can't do it. Can't do it.
No,
but
no,
anyway,
I don't do no personal.
You
attacks.
do.
It's
We'll go
just
back and
fact-based.
look, but it's all good, man. I love you. So go ahead, man. Let every Cowboy fan know, because this is the easy part when you're a Cowboy fan and you're on the negative side. So you told us so. So go ahead. Here's your chance.
No, I don't like rubbing in. You're the same age as me, so we were able to see 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. So I feel bad for the young Cowboys fans. That's actually my whole thing is about the young Cowboys fans.
Yeah,
they're never gonna win with Dak. I've been saying that for the last couple of years.
You've been
it's
consistent.
Time to cut the umbilical cord.
So what do you do?
First, people say, "Oh, the coach."
But what do you do? So do you like McCarthy, or does he have to go too?
Me personally,
you personally,
I blow it all up. You can't sell this product to the fan base come in 2024.
Yeah.
I think by the end of the week, my personal opinion, end of the week, I think Bill Belichick will be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow. And you think he's the answer? Or you just got to do a radical
something else?
You got to just do a radical change and just get something.
Because it's not the talent.
That's
the talent.
It
you got a very well. It's not the talent. It's the quarterback and the coaching staff. I got to blow it up, and I designate Dak as a June 1st post cut, which is $24 million in 24, and then $36 million in 25. And I see what I have in Trey Lance next year. You got a good young roster. You got Bland. You got Diggs in the secondary. You got Hooker still. You got Marquise Bell that can take Curse's role. You got Overshown coming back. You draft another linebacker. You still got Micah, D-Law, Osa, Sam Williams. I think we're fine. I think you still got a good offensive line. You still got an all-pro wide receiver. Just give it to Trey Lance and move. You can't sell this lemon again to the fans. I feel bad for fans if they come back with the same product.
No, and the thing I said at the beginning of the season, I got to stay consistent with it. I said if the season ends in disappointment, and then you have to make major changes, quarterback, coach. And I hate to blame it all. I hate to make McCarthy got to fall on the sword, because I think he's done a great job with the culture of the team. I think you looked at what Garrett had and you kind of look at what McCarthy's done. He's done a good job. Now, Dak wasn't his quarterback. I mean, so would you be against McCarthy with Trey Lance, or it's just too late? I mean, he's got to go down with him, and you got to start fresh.
Being a former Navy person, you remember they always say the captain goes down with the ship?
Yeah.
Well, I think Mike got to go down with the ship.
Yeah.
I think he's got to go down with the ship. I think you need to just blow it all up. Let Belichick come in. He's a defensive mind. Let Belichick, who hires who he wants to keep, not Jerry. I think Jerry being 81, I think you can't sell this to the product to the fans no more. It's like me. I'm immune already. I already knew it. It's him. Like I said, I didn't like bashing Dak in the regular season. Like I told you from the beginning of the season, I will not bash Dak in the regular season. I need to see in the postseason. And then what you saw again, the same type of happy. I don't think Dak has the mental makeup. I think he puts too unnecessary pressure on himself during big games in the playoffs.
Well, I mean, you can't argue it. I mean, it's the same with Roman. It's the argument I make every time, because Dak and Romo, if you look at their numbers, they blow Troy Aikman away. But Troy Aikman, he won Super Bowls, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. If you don't win Super Bowls, you're Danny White. I hate to say that because I like Danny White too, but you're just not. Don't put Dak and Romo at the level of Troy Aikman without Super Bowl rings. So,
no, Troy Aikman was a killer.
Yeah, and he elevated his game. He elevated his game in the Super Bowl. That's the thing. As when the pressure was on, that's when he was usually at his best, when it meant the most.
And like I saw the body language of CD, you can tell already once the bad pass that came, they already was starting to doubt Dak in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, and it's that here we go again, right? That's what it seemed like. Within 5 or 10 minutes of the game, even my wife was here, my son was here, said, "Oh, here we go." I mean, it's this is going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. And then you know what they had. I mean, Aaron Jones, we talked about that. Aaron Jones was pretty much, he was the one you had to watch because he always had Dallas's number. And they did nothing to stop him, and it was just really, really, really disappointing. So, but
and the big takeaway from this way, and I'll leave you with this: the big takeaway from this, I really have doubts now if I want to pay Micah Parsons as well.
That's going to be it's going to be a big number, and and to your point, I mean, it's tough because it becomes dollars and cents and what you can get, and if you're you got them for 2 more years, guaranteed. They can have them for 2 more years if they want. It's what do you do after that? But I mean, it's going to be a conversation. You see these teams, the way they're going now, even look at some of the quarterbacks, man. Some people aren't even paying their quarterbacks. There's thought of just keep drafting quarterbacks and just be a system guy. I mean, look at Brock Purdy. I mean, he's making nothing over there. And he has probably, he's going to end up being in the Super Bowl unless some crazy thing happens to them in the playoffs. I mean, to me, they got a clear path. They don't really have much against them. So
there's only one quarterback that I would pay in the whole National Football League right now, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Everybody else, you can't do it in 5 years. I'm drafting somebody else.
Yep. No.
That's the only quarterback I would pay.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. Well, I appreciate it, brother. It's always good talking to you.
You take care,
man.
All right, man.
All right. See you, brother.
Take care, Mike. Stay positive. There's always another year.
All right. That's all I got, man. All right. I'll see you, brother. Take care.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, well, let's see. I got another one.
Call from
Day K9.
Uh-oh.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Is this K9 calling? Hey, who is this?
It's Day K9. I'm one of your followers.
I thought this was Kelly K9, man. I was like, oh my God.
No, that's where I got my name from because I rock with Kelly. But yeah, I just had to get off my chest. That's all.
No, hey man, this is what it's here for, man. I'm telling you, this is making me feel better. I was ready to just punch the wall and throw all my stuff out. So yeah, this is therapeutic, man. Therapy session. What's up?
Yeah. But man, like I'm a diehard Cowboys fan my whole life, right? And I just moved back from Denver. And, like, my whole family is so dedicated to the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I went to the Panthers game this year. My sister goes, like, 6 games a year. We dedicated. And I always, like, I'm numb at this point. I'm a little bit numb. When bad things happen, I'm kind of like, that's what happened. What really hurts me is just to see my fan put so much into it. Like, my pops threw his Dak jersey, his autographed Dak jersey he got him to sign. Threw it outside, and like I'm just tired of it.
Yeah,
this is garbage. We need to get Bill Belichick or somebody in there. Man, it's some bullshit.
No, I mean, but what do you do? Like, what is going to give you as a fan hope? Like next year, is it Bill Belichick? Is he getting a big coach?
You can't tear the castle down and build another one that fast. We got a good team. And it's just crunch time every single season. Like, it was just like, I just keep having flashbacks every year. Like, oh, here we go. No pun intended.
Yeah. Would you get ready? I mean, do you move on from Dak? What do you do? What do you do with your quarterback?
Dak got us by the balls, I feel like. So,
well, you could take your hit.
How do you feel about it?
You could take your hit and then roll your dice with Trey Lance for a year and take the cap hit. I mean, that's
he was a top 3 pick, so
And I don't know. I mean, Dak played phenomenal all year, so it's hard to say that it's. You hate to be knee jerk and say, all right, one game, but it seems to be a trend in the playoffs. So I just.
It's one game every year.
Yeah.
And it's the most important game.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they went down the field and scored, and this is not a lie. My mom was like, I took Dallas -20 because I thought they were going to kick their ass out.
I thought they were too. Hey, Frank, take care, man.
I thought it was going to be over.
Yeah.
But as soon as they came down and dropped the ball, it's just opening the wound, pour a little salt in around January, wound will close about by September, and then it opens back up, and it's just. I don't know. I'm just venting.
No, I mean, they just find a way to rip your heart out, man. I mean, it is just when we find ways to lose. Like I said, this was the worst loss in Cowboys history as an organization, and you can't.
It was the perfect route.
You couldn't ask for anything better for them.
No, you could not ask for a better route to the Super Bowl. Like, I don't even know. Like a blowout sucks. A heart-wrenching loss sucks. You know, if we lose by field goal in the game, that sucks. But this just, I mean, I'm in Virginia right now with my family, and everybody's not talking. Everybody's pissed. So everybody's just mad as hell because I'll be like, man, we do this shit every year. But
you can't continue going down the same path, getting the same results. But man, no, I appreciate it. Appreciate you supporting the channel and everything, man. And obviously Kelly and I
follow you, bro. I've been following you for years. And you and Kelly have been following y'all for years. But I appreciate you having me on, bro.
They got to do something because these hype videos are going to be hard to do if everything stays the same.
I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how in the world, like, people are saying Belichick. And then I heard somebody, or RG3 said something about prime time.
No,
that would be crazy.
He would never. He can't. He would never put up with what you're putting up with the players of today.
Yeah, I've seen RG3 from something like that. But you know, best thing we can just do is hope for the best and lick our wounds.
No, man. I appreciate it, brother. Take care, man. I'm sure I'll see you soon.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate you on, bro.
Take care. All right. Man, and what do I look at is Detroit's giving the Rams an ass beating, exactly what you're supposed to do to an inferior opponent. I just happened to flip the game on, and that's, again, that makes it even more disappointing is you get opportunities, and you don't get these often. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. That's what I always say, man. It is hard to win a Super Bowl. And when you get opportunities, you have to take full advantage of them. And unfortunately, the Cowboys are not taking advantage of the opportunities, and it's a young roster, but you know, maybe Ultra made a point. Maybe he had some points. Is we got a good young team, so do you make some radical changes and keep, you know, you've got the young core of the team and just make some changes here and there and see what happens, because what are you going to do with the fan base? Hang on one sec, we got another caller. Let me see what we got. Hey, you there, man?
Yeah, I'm here. How are you, Mike?
Good. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
It's the Noosh on Twitter.
Oh, how's it going, man?
You know what, man? I'm not gonna lie to you, Mike. We're in the rebuild phase, and we just got to come to the grips of it that nobody on this team is at that level, man. They're just not.
Do you believe that with 9 all pros? I mean, think about that. That's not us hyping them up. That is people selecting them. You don't think there's talent enough on this team? You don't think that they can't kind of tool some areas and make some change? You think they need to blow it all up?
I think that we've been with that same all-pro talent. We have been now 3 postseasons.
Yeah.
And we've done nothing but go backwards. I mean, number one, we could start from the top. And I think next year is really where it has to go, because we're clearly going to have a new coach and clearly going to have a new defensive coordinator. But if we don't do something big, and I'm talking, when's the last time we got a free agent in Dallas, Mike?
No, they don't do it. They like their guys. I'm with you. Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, how about this? We'll change it up. Instead of rebuilding, how about we do what every single other modern NFL team does and hire a GM
That ain't gonna happen. That's not
gonna
gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. I mean, that's that.
It's just not.
You know, you bet. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're a fan as long as I. That ship is. He's never. It's never gonna happen. The closest thing we have is Will McClay, but it's never gonna happen. Jerry's the guy, and Steven's gonna be the guy when. You know, when God forbid the time for Jerry, you know, to go to the upper room, his son is going to take it over. That's the way and that's the unfortunate part, because I agree. Every business that I've been in, there's a buffer. There's a buffer between, you know, the players and the management. I'm in sales. There's a buffer between the salespeople to a manager to the big dog. You know, for me, I'm that buffer. And if they went straight up to my boss, that cuts the legs out of me. It gives me no respect with them. And it's the same thing. These players have an open door to the owner. So that's why these coaches have never been able to kind of own the role, because Jerry's the owner and the GM. So that's basically what happened. So.
It is. And, you know, I'm 28 and I've dedicated my entire life to these guys, man, my entire life. And all I want to do is just one time, even before Jerry goes, because I'm not going to lie, I love Jerry. I think Jerry loves his team, but I think that's the problem now. He loves these dudes so much that he's willing to sit there, and you know he's already going to extend Dak. I love Dak. I think Dak at his best, when he can play and he can read, he feels it. But that pressure is just always mounted on him in those big games, Mike. It's always the big games where he's just a deer in the headlights, man.
Yeah.
A deer in the... Why are the Eagles going to 2 Super Bowls in the last decade, but we can't even get to 1 in the last 3?
No. I'm right. And that's the life of a Cowboys fan right now. We are the kind of the punchline, and we got to own that. And it's just been, this team is constantly underachieved. And you hope it, I thought this year was the year, I mean, where everything kind of lined up. We talked about the Jimmy Johnson curse, and I made jokes that, you know, things kind of happened, you know, after Jimmy Johnson finally got put in, and then this happens. It just shows there was no curse. It's just Jerry's got to take a lot of this. It's just, yeah, it's a black cloud over this organization. And the only common denominator is like what you said, is Jerry Jones, and he's not going nowhere. He's not going nowhere.
So with that being said, who do you think coaches this next year? I just want an opinion on it, and then I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Me personally, if you're going to make a move, I'm going to hire. I would rather have a young, offensive-minded guy. But I get the Belichick. Yeah. I get the people with the Belichick, and Belichick is going to bring instant. It's almost like when Bill Parcells. You know, when that was the one time where Jerry kind of had to let go of some of the authority with Bill Parcells. And it was a short run. And I think Bill Belichick, if he were to come here, that's going to be a very short run. But I said this, so I've got to stay consistent, is when Tom Brady was available, I begged the Cowboys to make a move to get Tom Brady, because I knew what Tom Brady could bring to the team. I knew it'd be a short run, but he was going to bring a Super Bowl. So, you know, I don't want to overreact. So I'm just kind of like letting everyone vent and kind of, you know, let's let the dust settle. But there's got to be changes. You can't continue getting the same results with the same group of people, because that's just foolish, you know. So, but I appreciate it, man.
I 100% agree.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Appreciate it, brother. Take care. Bye. All right. We got a special guest coming in. He was trying to call me, so let's get him on here. Let's get him on here and see if we can get him on this call. Steve, might not. Who do we got on here?
This Kelly K9, my guy.
I told you I had to come on here because it was therapeutic. A lot of people were asking about you. I said, man, I don't know where Kelly might still be hanging at the bar. Well, there goes the Rams with a touchdown. They got right back into this game, but. How you feeling, man? I know you did your video, and it almost, I'm going to be honest with you, Kelly, it almost seemed like you were numb. Like you were like a beaten fighter that you knew this was you had that expected in the back of your mind, because I didn't get the anger that you usually show.
Man, it was definitely some defeatist type mentality after about the second quarter. Actually, after about the first two drives by Green Bay. At that point, I knew what was going on. I knew what was going to happen, and I called it play for play. I said, you know what? We're going to get our fucking asses stomped. We're going to get our fucking heads beat in. Sorry.
Nah, I mean, at this point, we're fine with it today, man. Don't worry about it.
Well, I was just like, you know what? We're getting our heads beat in, and I told him, I said, but you know what's going to happen? The Cowboys will come back and put up some meaningless yards in the second half, and we'll, come around and try to put up some points on the board that won't mean a damn thing. And here's my thing. Here's my thing. We've seen this record play now for 3 damn postseasons with Dak Prescott. And I'm sorry, man, I'm not sugarcoating it no more, man. I can't do it, man. I can't keep roping myself in and thinking that I haven't seen the same movie 1,000 damn times when it comes to Dak Prescott. The dude folds more times than a goddamn lawn chair in a South Miami retirement home. Yeah. He folds. He did. He folded again. Dude, he should have had 3 interceptions tonight, man. It was ugly. And you know what? People say, well, Mike McCarthy didn't call a game plan, good game plan. I don't know what it is. And I got a text, man, that was saying, you know what? That a lot of the Cowboys fans right now are wanting to burn the whole thing down. Well, you know what? I'm standing outside the Cowboys facility with a can of gasoline and a match, and I want to burn the whole goddamn thing down, too.
Hey, Kelly was just saying this for entertainment purposes only. God forbid if that would have happened.
Entertainment, that's right. It's a Slim Shady reference to a song. I'm not really going to burn any. I'm just saying, metaphorically, seriously, though, you tear this whole fucking thing. What did you see tonight that gives you any encouragement when it comes to Dan Quinn, Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, any of them? Where was the positives tonight?
No. Well, let me ask you.
Was there any?
No, there's no positive. Let me ask you. Let me ask you, Kelly, because Ultra called in, and we had a great conversation, and we're on the same page. But he's been one of these Dak, through the season, but playoff time, he's been consistent with it. So I'm going to give Ultra his due. He's been consistent with it. So he's saying you let Dak go, change the coaches, and you just take the cap hit. You got a lot of young talent. We still got a lot of young talent. I mean, we're a talented team. You roll with Trey Lance, draft a quarterback, and but you roll with Trey Lance for a year, give him his opportunity, and see what happens. Are you against that? He said you got to have something to sell the fans because the fans aren't going to buy this again. So are you an Ultra? No. Are you guys locked arms? Do you agree with him?
So I'm going to say, you know what? I might as well lock arms with the man. I've disagreed with the man and battled with the man all season. So here's the thing. I don't necessarily know that we go with Trey Lance. I don't know that that's necessarily the answer. Maybe we draft a quarterback, and granted, we might not draft at the top. But listen, I could look to the 49ers and say that they drafted Brock Purdy was one of the last picks in the draft and say maybe we have that type of optimism. So I don't necessarily know that the answer is Trey Lance. But I think that this Cowboys, I don't think that they should extend Dak Prescott because why would you? Why would you want to keep gouging yourself in the eye with the same hot soldering iron over and over? Like, you've done it 3 times in a row now. You've done 3 years in a row now. You've seen this play out. You've seen it. I mean, and even earlier this year. I mean, the Niners game, we thought that was an aberration. We're like, you know what? No, we're getting this thing back together. Look at Mike McCarthy. He's evolved into this great play caller. And look at him. He's a top play caller. He's got Dak Prescott playing on the elite level. I said it earlier today. Dak Prescott gives you this confidence level. But even a couple of weeks ago against the Bills, they smack us around. And we're like, well, things happen against good teams. If it wasn't for this play or it wasn't for this play. We talk ourselves back into these situations because we're eternal optimists, because we want that 6th Super Bowl that bad that we're willing to convince ourselves that a fraud, a guy that is basically – I make fun of Philadelphia talk radio. Me and you have both done it because of how they react after these things.
Yeah.
This is not an overreaction. It's not an overreaction with Dak Prescott. We've seen this movie play out a million times. again next year. I don't care if he wins 12 games, 12 games, 12 games. What is the end result, man? I would rather roll with a rookie quarterback and get our heads smacked in and be able to get a top 5 pick next year and get some better draft picks to keep adding to the youth of this team and hope that maybe in the next 5 years we can build ourselves back up and be competitive again. We got a lot of youth. Who knows? Maybe we strike gold with a young quarterback next year. But I don't want to see Dak Prescott again on this same level. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I can't talk myself back into this Dak Prescott thing. I did it this year after the Niners lost last year. I can't do it again this year.
I know, and I feel guilty. I feel guilty because I think I talked you into it, so I got to take some of that responsibility. But I'll say this: the point that I was and Ultra talked about it, and I've mentioned it too, is you have Trey Lance on a rookie deal, so you got him next year. He's been here.
You might as well.
Start him and draft one, right? Start him and draft one, and you got enough talent around him where he just becomes a game manager, a la like a Purdy or a la like some of these other quarterbacks. And you look at, I'm watching golf right now. Golf isn't, Jared Goff's not this ultimate top 5 quarterback, but he's got his team winning the game. They're at home. They're 12-5, won the division. You could do it if you surround them with the right people and the right staff. You don't need to have Patrick Mahomes. Obviously it's great if you got him, but not every team has that. And maybe you don't need that in the game today.
No, and you know what? I think that the Cowboys, honestly, I really do. I think that the Cowboys have some very nice pieces defensively. I think that next year you have a conversation about possibly bringing back Stephon Gilmore and running this thing back with a healthy Trayvon Diggs, Deron Bland, Stephon Gilmore is your starting 3. I think you keep Jordan Lewis around because I think he's nice for depth. I think they've got some nice pieces at the cornerback position. I think we've got some nice pass rush pieces. And I think here's the thing. If you're not investing $45 to $55 million a year in a quarterback, because that's what it's going to cost to get Dak, then you can invest that into other areas that we need. And you know what? Go ahead and take the gamble because what do you stand to lose? What do you stand to lose? So you're going to tell me, let's sit there and run this thing back with Dak again so we can end back up in the same situation again next year? No. I would rather run this with a unproven Trey Lance or a rookie quarterback, one or the other. I don't care. But it's got to be something other than what we keep seeing every year with this whole thing. And the guy that has been the guy that we've all kind of pumped up this year is Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
And
you don't get a pass.
No, you don't get a pass. Don't give Dan Quinn no damn pass. You know what? I hope somebody else goes and hires Dan Quinn. You can have him as your head coach. Take Dan Quinn with you on the way out the door because this defense from the start of the game, from the whistle of the game, looked like they were just outmatched by a subpar and inferior Green Bay team. And I'm saying that after they beat us upside the head with a whooping stick. They still are the more inferior team. There's no reason we should have lost to Green Bay.
Yeah.
No reason.
No. They were the better team today because we came in unprepared and we did not play up to the level that they're capable of. You could look at it. The score, like I said, you said it, the score was not indicative of the ass beating that they got today. That's just the way it is. And
it's horrible.
And we made Jordan Love look better than Aaron Rodgers. That beating was, I don't think Aaron Rodgers gave us a beating like that before. So
no, I don't think he ever did.
Well, make sure wait. I just want to make sure the caller is Kelly K9. For those who I saw, they said this caller's 100% right. It is Kelly K9. What are you driving? Are you driving? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm driving right now. I'm driving home.
All right, he's heading home. But yeah, so we got him on the phone. This is tagging K9. And like I said to you guys before, those who are new to the channel or those checking out, we're going to give you an opportunity to experience winning. You understand what that means? Winning Super Bowls, because we got Tony Hill, Super Bowl champion, coming into the cave next week. We got James Washington, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Cowboys, coming in a few weeks. So we're going to get back to Super Bowls. We just got to go to the past because our team can't seem to get it done. But you stick with us in the cave, and we're going to at least get you some good vibes and good memories and make you feel good again about the Cowboys. Because like I said in the cave, people always talk about the cave. This history in this cave, and most of this history that's in this cave is winning history of winning Super Bowls. And we got to get back to that. And whatever they got to do, they better figure it out. But Kelly, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just more of the same, man. It's just the same old fucking. The same story, man. Different day, dude. Literally by halftime, I was honestly laughing, man. I knew it was happening.
Well, that's the thing with the game, like getting our ass whooped, like it happened. Did you get to that? Because I got to that point to where it was almost like I wasn't as angry because I'm like I've lived this life. I became numb to it, and had we lost like a close game, I would have been infuriated probably a lot more. But it's like, here we go again. I mean, don't show up in the biggest moments. The defense changed. Like there was a guy in the chat. I apologize. I missed your name. We were playing a lot of man all year, and then we kind of were playing a lot of zone today. There was a third down where we dropped Micah Parsons in coverage. We had a blitz. We had one pressure that we finally got to the quarterback, and we get a holding call on defense. We get punter interference extending that made the drive. They were backed into their end zone, gave them better field position. All the things that you and I talked about in the show. Penalties, stopping the run. What else did we talk about? Showing up big in big games. I mean, everything that we talked about, none of it all worked for Green Bay, and we did nothing to stop any of it.
Yeah, no, you're right, and I thought about that the entire time I'm watching it. I'm thinking, the football gods or whoever it may be that watches me and listens to me, they must truly hate me. They must truly hate me because literally everything I said was reversed and flipped onto my head. And I mean, I said, the worst thing that can happen is, Aaron Jones going off, but I don't see that happening. But hell, if he didn't go off, and then I'm like, well, it'll be all right if we can put pressure on Aaron. If we can put pressure on Jordan Love. Well, they put pressure on Dak Prescott. We didn't get a damn bit of pressure on Love, and literally every single key of the game, everything that I said that we were going to do to them, they did to us. The score prediction was flip flop. The turnovers were flip flopped, and it was just like, what am I doing wrong, man? Like, do I need to like help more old ladies across the street, or do I need to? I'm questioning life decisions over here, my guy. I mean, it's just I don't know. I feel it's bad, man, because I really feel lost at this point, and it sucks because I remember making fun of the Eagles fans when they wanted to blow the whole thing up, and they're a couple weeks ago,
maybe
like,
they're onto something. Maybe they're onto something.
Maybe they're onto something because I mean, honestly, that's really kind of how I feel at this point, Mike. There's no way you're going to sell me on another year of Dak Prescott. I won't do it. I'll sit there next year and I'll provide content for Cowboys fans, and I'll come on and I'll do my post game videos, and I will try to be the positive guy to provide some hype and some good feelings. But I will never again. I'm done. I'm off of the Dak Prescott train, man. I'm just done. I am. I'm off it, man.
Yeah.
It's not an overreaction. I'm done with Dak. I've seen enough. I've seen this story play out way too many times. It's almost like, honestly, there was that joke about Dak being the black Kirk Cousins, but it's honestly like if you were a Vikings fan or even a Commanders fan, it's watching the Kirk Cousins story unfold. You know you've got a quarterback that can put up good regular season numbers. He can put up some good performances. He can beat some decent teams. But when it matters the most, he's going to fold. He's going to fold.
Yeah.
And I hate that for Dak because he's a good guy. He's a good human being. But being a good human being doesn't equate to being a good quarterback.
Well, we got to be fair to our listeners. So, Kareem he's been chiming in a lot. He said that Cowboy fans overreacting is just unbelievable. And last week Dak was the MVP. Now we all want him gone. And he just thinks there's too much knee-jerk reaction with the way that you're talking, the way Ultra talked, the way every caller has kind of echoed everything that you've said and I've said and everything else. So, I mean, what do you say to someone like that who's like, we were in love with him a week ago, and now all of a sudden, you want him gone? I mean, I have my answer, but I'll let you speak if you want, or I can give mine and you can respond.
I'll go ahead.
Well, I mean, the thing I said is when the season starts, I'm all in. I'm all in on the quarterback. I mean, I support the whole team. But if you listen to me and Kelly before the before the season, I said if we end in disappointment, something has to change. You can't continue going down the same path, getting the same results. Otherwise, we're just wasting years. So that's why I think it's time to move on. Is because it's nothing against his play. I think he is a top 10 quarterback, but I don't think he's the quarterback right now that could take this team to the next level. And I hope I'm proven wrong if he stays, but I just think we've seen it enough. He's a great guy. He doesn't deserve any personal attacks or anything like that. I just think from this team, I think something's got to change.
Yeah, so what I will say to that is, as far as Dak Prescott being a top 10 quarterback, I will say top 10 maybe statistically. But I will say that there is more into the game than statistics. And you know what? If you would have asked me a week ago, I would have told you that I thought that Dak Prescott was the MVP of the regular season. Thought it was a close race between him and Lamar. And I thought that Dak Prescott played one of the best games or the best seasons that he's played in recent memory. And I, on today's show, said that I thought that Dak had reached the level of Tony Romo before Romo's body had failed. I thought Romo was a cerebral assassin. Like he could really break down these defenses. And I thought that going into this game. But I've looked at the 49ers game from 2 years ago. I looked at the 49ers game from last year. I think about the 49ers game from this year. I think about the Bills game from this year. I think about when he is going up against some of the biggest teams and the noise around him gets the loudest and the pressure mounts on him being the guy. What has he really shown us? Outside of 2018, the last year that he won a playoff, he won a playoff game against Tampa Bay last year. We beat them last year, but Tampa Bay was a team that let's face it, they came in with a losing record. I get it; it was Tom Brady, but they had a losing record. Okay, not too often do playoff teams come in with a losing record and win. So I look at Dak Prescott; he did that, but then the next week he just completely folded up.
Yeah.
More often than not now, Dak Prescott now has a 2-5 playoff record. So 5 times you've watched things happen. It's not always on Dak. It is not. And it's a complete football game, and there is blame to go around. There is blame to go around. Trust me on that, there is.
Yeah.
But when I have seen these shitty performances, listen, if Dak Prescott would have played today, and I understand, I think he ended up the game with over 400 yards passing. If Dak Prescott ended the game today with, let's say, 430 yards, 440 yards passing, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns, let's say 4 touchdowns, right? Yeah. 4 touchdowns. Let's even say 3 touchdowns. And no interceptions. I'm going to sit there and tell you, you know what? It's not Dak's fault. It's Dan Quinn. It's this defense. They didn't show up when they needed to. And I would be the first person riding for Dak Prescott. But the problem is that's not the case. We saw him throw 3 picks against the San Francisco 49ers. We saw him throw a handful of picks against the Buffalo Bills. We saw him tonight throw another 2 picks. Should have been 3 picks against the Green Bay Packers.
Let me give you a comment because you can't see it. Comment again from Kareem. I don't care if Jesus is your quarterback. You're not going to win giving up 50 points.
No. Yeah, well, okay, you're not going to win giving up 50 points, but how did those 50 points come about? Okay, because our defense, they did get a couple of stops there. The defense did get some stops in some of those moments, but what did our offense do when we had those stops?
Yeah.
Pick 6, pick. I mean, Dak Prescott throwing a pick 6 when we're trying to climb back into this game, and it's you're sitting there like, all right, we got something going, and then here comes Dak, pick 6. Listen, the defense can only hold their own for so long. The defense was on the field because it was a 3 and out, gave up a touchdown, come down, don't get anything, then turn around and get a 3-and-out the next possession. Like, the offense did nothing to help the defense out.
Yeah.
Nothing. And Dak Prescott's turning the ball over. The one thing you cannot do as a quote-unquote franchise quarterback is turn the ball over. Listen, we're talking about a first-year starter in Jordan Love that came into a playoff game on the road as a team who had not lost once, and he turned the ball over 0 times.
Yeah.
But yet, we've got a guy in his 8th year who we all pumped up as the MVP of the league and said he was playing better than anybody else, and turned the ball over twice to a defense that is a mid-tier defense.
Not even a mid-tier. You're being generous.
It is being generous, and so you're telling me that Dak Prescott, those turnovers, those aren't on him. I should blame the defense. I should blame the defense for Dak throwing the ball to the other team. I don't think he got the memo that we were wearing white jerseys. Maybe he thought Dallas went with some odd kind of throwback jersey. Maybe Dallas was wearing this weird green jersey because he was throwing to him as much as he was throwing to the white jersey.
Yeah.
And that's inexcusable. Inexcusable.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. It makes it difficult, and I wish there was a way I could patch you in because people are wanting to call. I'm trying to figure out how.
I don't want to give you too many people that are not going to call. I'm almost to the house, man.
All right,
I'll hang up. I'll let some callers.
All right, if we're still on and you're there, man, pop in, and I'll put. I'll
pop in live.
All right. See you, brother. All right, take care. All right, man.
All right,
man. All right. Bye. And I'll put this for you guys. Any of you guys that want to hop in the live stream, all you got to do is click that link. It'll pull you in. I'll see you, and you can come in the live stream as well. But I can get back to taking some other calls. Sorry, we had Kelly. Man, when you get Kelly Kane on here, my partner in crime, who I'm telling you, I was a little sad. I was a little sad by his post game. He looked like a defeated man. He just didn't have that anger. I don't know, Fred, how you feeling, man? Are you feeling? Fred and I had big plans, man. We had the next weekend. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be partying at Texas Live. We had all these, poor Doug. I don't know where Doug's at. The link is in the chat. I'll put it right there again. Let me put it. I'll put it there again. There's a link. So you just got to click that link, and that should take you right in, and you can join the show, vent out some frustration. That's really what it is, man. You guys know I pick you guys up. I try and pick you guys up. Now's the opportunity for you guys to pick me up. You guys tell me why the hell should I renew my season tickets for next season? It's like something's got to change. Something's got to change. I don't know. We're all looking for answers. I don't want to be. We're an hour out of the game, but I'm watching playoffs, and I'm watching the way these teams. I watched the way Houston played. Houston Texans with a rookie quarterback go in there, and he's a first round pick and this and that, but a rookie quarterback, go in there and win a playoff game and look good. And Lady Rover, the reason, sorry, and I probably am at fault for not being there. I see you. You're going to be jumping on in a second, Donovan. The reason I didn't go to the game is because I can only, you got a budget. I can't go to every game. So the game date was decided 6 days before. I banked on them winning, so I booked everything for the following week. So I was going to go to next week's game. I figured if I had a choice, I'd much rather go to the divisional game than the wild card. I thought this was a gimme, and that's why we play the game. So because there are no gimmies. But let me see what I got here. Donovan, how you doing, man?
Hey, Mike, man, it's nice to finally get to talk to you and meet to you. I kind of tweet you sometime when you do the hype videos, man. So I really do enjoy those.
No, I appreciate it, man. It didn't work. It didn't work today. Shit didn't work.
No,
today.
And you know what, man? I'll be honest with you, brother. Man, this, you've been talking to a lot of people today, and they've been telling you, saying how old they are and stuff like that. Well, it makes me laugh. But I just say this: I just turned 53, so I remember seeing some Super Bowls in the 70s and, going through those 80s with the losing the championships in the NFC and then in the 90s run. And, through all those years, man, this one today just just from the beginning, I just felt like, I don't know, something's not right. Maybe they too tense or whatever, but it just wasn't there. And it just really, just real disappointing, man. Just really cut to the core.
Yeah, I mean, would you say you're only a few years older than me? People know I'm 48, so we're not that far apart. Would you say this was the worst loss in Cowboys history? I mean, as far as just everything.
Well, you know what? Now, for me, I still remember 44-0.
See, I brought up 44-0, but we stunk.
And that was bad. That was bad. That was just bad. And but this here is oh man, I just kept thinking to myself, I said, that's 3 years straight of 12-5 and then mishaps in the playoffs. And so I understand that window's only going to be open for so long.
Yes.
And this offseason, you got some tough decisions to make with players or what have you. So yeah, it's going to be a real interesting season. For me, and it's just me talking, until you start changing some things, I guess, up top, and I mean as far as your way of thinking when it comes to quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I don't know how you can let that go, man.
So you're good to bring him back, and you're still going to be confident going into next season. I mean, that's the thing. Or do you change? I mean, and it's okay. Like I said, I don't know the answers, and I'm not going to sit here and overreact.
No, but I don't either, man. I don't either. I just think. Oh man, we knew for the majority of this season that this defense, if it's not getting pressure on the quarterback, if it's not creating turnovers, we're gonna have problems.
Yeah.
Because one, we can't stop the run.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing. I thought we could. Like, I knew we had a game against Buffalo, and I know we
right.
had a game, but there was a lot of games where we did. I mean, we did stuff. But what helped was we jumped on top of teams to where I guess they took them out of the run, right? So they didn't get an opportunity to really get that running game going. But when you look at the coaches, so I mean, McCarthy, I mean, this is a crazy thing because just yesterday I'm talking to people and saying, how the hell could you move on from a coach that's 12 wins 3 years in a row? I mean, that hasn't happened with these Cowboys since the 90s. We remember the Jason Garrett eras. You remember? And then we go back to how quick we want to get rid of Dak. And I think back, Chad Hutchinson, Drew Henson, Clint Sterner, Anthony Wright, Quincy Carter. I mean, we can go down the list of quarterbacks we had. But do you want to be just a wild card playoff team and done, or do we need to shake things up to try and get over the hump? Because there's talent on this team. I mean, there's talent.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, there's talent across the board, but I just feel like, okay, the one person that really needs to do everything is, you had some of your people watching tonight say it is Jerry, but he's not going to relinquish anything.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because it starts there. And I know some people have a reference in the chat and calling you on the phone about Belichick. Well, the last couple of years of Belichick hadn't been so hot. So, if you were going to make a coaching change now, here's a name for you, Jim Harbaugh.
No, now if I would go after a younger, and I know Harbaugh's not 30, but just a younger. I mean, Bill Belichick to me is, I mean, he just looks like he's tired. He's
he's done.
He's done. Yeah, I don't know how motivated he is. Like, I need someone. Did you? I mean, you love Jimmy Johnson, I'm sure. Did you see?
Oh
Jimmy
man, loved him. Love Jimmy.
You saw
loved him in Miami.
You saw him talking at halftime. He had more fire and more passion. And
yeah, man. It made me feel like, now see, that's who needs to be on the sideline.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know, man. I just, it's something about the way the defense has played the second half of the season that I never felt good about.
Yeah.
And once they stop forcing turnovers and getting the sacks like they were. And today the decision, and again, I don't know the full decision because I'm not a coach, but predominantly this year they've been a man football team in the secondary, and to start playing zone, I don't understand that.
Yeah, it was
logic.
odd. I mean, they were so, just terrible blown coverages, and it just so wide open. It was, like I said, it got to be comical. That's what I say. It's
Yes.
like, yeah, I got to get this off out, but it's like it was so embarrassing, the performance, that you just started laughing at it. So that's why I know the haters, they were going to come at me and they're going to, but I was probably laughing with them because it was just, that's all you could do, because it was just, how the hell did this shit just happen?
Yeah, I just feel like at some point, and I hate saying this because I'm true boo to the day I die. I'm not going nowhere. I'm a fan. I'm gonna be that way to the day I die. But I don't like it when guys quit.
Yeah.
And I think the defense quit.
It seemed like it. It definitely seemed like it.
Just not getting the love and just letting him sit back there and just slice and dice you, man. It just, and again, teams running the football on them. That they haven't solved that in 3 years, and so something's got to give there.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, but I appreciate you hopping in. It's
Yes.
always good. I always tell people, this is honestly, and for everyone still in the chat, this is why I love doing this, is because I want to get you guys coming in, because this is how I like talking. Like, I like this kind of stuff. I like talking to people. So I'm glad you were. A lot of people are afraid to jump in through the video.
Oh no, man! I've been chomping at the bit to get to talk to you, man. Because
anytime.
because I hardly get to go to games and stuff, man. But yeah, something like this, I want to get on and just say my piece, man. Like I said, it hurts, but it's just, I don't, these next couple of months are going to be real critical for this football team.
It's going to be tough, but I tell you what, you guys hang with your boy in the cave, because like I said, we got Tony Hill, James Washington.
Oh God, there you go.
Coming in. We're going to relive the good days, man.
This man.
We're going to relive the good days.
Oh man. Yeah. Something.
All right, man. Donovan, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All
man.
right.
See you. All right. Bye. Oh, see, that's what's cool, man, is when you guys do that. Oh, I think I accidentally dumped someone. Come back in, young son. I apologize. I dropped him and dropped you, so I apologize. Jump back in, but no, and that's what Donovan is great. A passionate Cowboy. Now, what I was saying about the worst loss, you got to put it in perspective. I saw the Arizona game. Arizona. That was a Cowboys team that was kind of near the end, and that was kind of like putting the nail in the coffin for us, and that was kind of the way it was in one of those playoff runs. There was another one, the Giants. That one hurt. That was probably be the closest one. I think it was 2007. That would have been the closest one to this one. This one just hurt so much because I think everyone was so confident. And it was funny. I had a Packers fan said the overconfidence of the Cowboys are going to be a problem. And I said, they're not overconfident. Well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe they were overconfident. So I'm not, yeah. So it was, this one hurts. And again, we'll look back at these other ones, but yeah, need a power back. How much of that did we talk about with the running game? And a lot of people, wanted to get rid of Zeke and send Zeke on his way and all that kind of stuff. And it sure didn't, they didn't have an answer for it. And it was just so disappointing to see this running game. Hold on one second. I had someone come in. Yeah, let me just text real quick. Sorry. And anyway, so the running game has been a problem. That's something they got to, but I think they're going to address it through the draft. I think they'll get it going through the draft and get that right. But it's really the three things I see. Dan Quinn's gone. He's gonna get a head coaching job maybe. But you wonder, how attractive he's going to get as a head coaching job after some of the performances he's had. But he's got ties to Seattle. There's talk there and this and that. The really question is, what do you do at quarterback and what do you do at your coach? Do you leave it alone and just try and, continue down the path and just hope you get things right? Or do you make a change with one or the other or both to really shake things up? So I guess being a young Cowboys fan, we got Mikey in the house. What are you thinking as far as that with a coach and quarterback and all that?
Well, I think Mike McCarthy is the guy. I mean, like you said, 12-5, 3 straight years. Haven't done that since the 90s. Why would you fire him because of that? But when this loss is all in the players. I mean, they'll talk in the media. Oh, Mike wearing Bobby Boucher jersey to the game. Tank Lawrence said, What are we gonna do? We're gonna hit him.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But
No,
like,
it all comes down to the players. I
all
mean,
comes
I'm with you. I mean, the players are on there. They got to be
people
held accountable.
blame Mike McCarthy and all that, but when players are doing all the talking, like they talk all the noise, where's the bite?
Yeah.
Where's the it got blown out by Jordan Love. No disrespect to Jordan Love. It's his first season. And this is a game. This was the easiest road to at least the NFC Championship game. At least.
That's why I said this one hurts so much, is because they had a lot in front of them. Same with 2007. That 2007, if I'm right on the year, 6 or 7, one or the other. That team with Romo and the 13 Pro Bowls, that would probably be the closest. I think the way that they lost, I mean, we got embarrassed, we got humiliated, and really it's the fans. That's the thing. These players, the fans, we all take the brunt of it. And that's the part of being a fan. So I could take it. I mean, a lot of people come at me. You're not going to affect my life. I got a pretty good life. I've been very blessed. I've worked hard all my life. I've had the opportunity to do some things that I could only dream of as a kid coming out of Broward County High School, education and being a knucklehead. I've been very fortunate, and hard work pays off. So there's nothing that the haters can say to me that's ever going to bother me. You can talk about my Cowboys, talk about this or that. It ain't going to bother. But it does hurt because we are vested in this team. We're fans. We're passionate fans. We're vested in this team. And when you don't see the effort, when you don't see the effort that you have, and and it's hard. I don't ever want to challenge a player in their manhood and this, that, but it just didn't seem like it. And hopefully I'm wrong, but that's where it makes the fan base really kind of, take it to heart. But anyway, sorry for my rant. Sorry, Michael. But go ahead.
It's all right. I went on my rant. I just can't believe, like, my years of being a Cowboys fan. Like, you had the good years. We lose to the same teams every year in the playoffs year. I mean, kid you, I've never seen a team lose to the same teams as much as this team does. I swear, Green Bay, 3 times. 3 times we had a chance to beat Green Bay, and we lost every single time, and they all been heartbreaks.
San Francisco, it's been the same old story.
What I tell you at the beginning of the week, I said Green Bay. We don't have a good history with Green Bay, and
why can't we just play Philly every year? You know what I mean? Play them in the playoffs. At least we can win that one. I mean, that's the only team that I know that we can always beat is Philly. We beat Philly, we beat the Giants, we could beat Washington, we destroy all the teams in our division. But when you go outside the division, when you got to play Green Bay or you got to play, I mean, Buffalo's had our number. I mean, all these teams have. The San Francisco's, there's certain to Denver, there's certain teams that for some reason always have our number. But what do you're a fan of, you're 19 years old. This has kind of been your life, this very tough life that you live being a Cowboys fan. I mean, how much longer can you take it?
But it's like, it annoys me because I look at all these other teams that are making these insane runs in the playoffs, and I look at our team and the talent we have. 9 All-Pros.
Yeah.
9. And what we do with them? Nothing. I mean, no disrespect to Dak, but it's like, I feel like, why would you extend them if we're going to get the same results?
No, I mean it's a fair. I thought Philly. I was making fun of Philly because they want to get rid of the general manager, the coach, the quarterback, and everybody. And I'm thinking to myself, Jesus, you guys just kind of went to the Super Bowl. You're really, late season kind of, stumbling to win the division. You're still in the playoffs. You still actually are at a playoff game tomorrow, probably be the end of it, but at least you're in a playoff. And you're going to just blow it up. And then here we are as Cowboy fans talking about the same thing. So maybe Philly is onto something. Maybe it is expectations are this high. And if you're not reaching that bar, then something's got to give. And it's been 3 years at that level. We haven't progressed above that level is do you gotta make a change?
Well, it's like why like people want Belichick. Belichick is what 74 years old.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
even if you do get him, he's gonna be here for like 3 years and then he'll retire. But it's like,
yeah.
like
Well, let me say, Ian. First of all, congratulations, you guys put it on us. I'm not gonna. I mean, you got to take your beating like a man. So I will congratulate you. The one thing I'll say that Jerry has to go. Once he's gone, you'll be able to make unbiased decisions and allow a real GM to be a GM. The problem is, Ian, is I don't know if that's accurate because Ultra made a point on it in the chat. This Cowboys team is talented. Will McClay and the player personnel they have got, this team is, I mean, not, we just talked about 9 all pros. You get that's not the Cowboys saying these guys are all pros. That's the league. That's everything around it. So what the thing that you missed on, which you're 100% right on the Jerry part, but he's not going anywhere. It's the culture. It's the mindset. It's everything else. What I said, you always have to battle. And I thought Mike McCarthy has done the best job handling that. Jason Garrett, terrible job. That's why you saw it. And what I mean by that is when players, when the GM is the owner, then basically there's no buffer between ownership and player personnel. And I think that's where things get muddy in business and life and everything you do. There's always that chain of command. And when you can skip the chain and go up to the top chain, I think that does something to the culture of the building and of the locker room and of everything else. That's, to me, the ultimate problem with Jerry Jones is that right there. But getting players, right, Mikey? I mean, would you disagree? I mean, we have the talent. I mean, we've got players.
This team was the team. I mean, if you really look at it, Stephon Gilmore, we signed him. Brandon Cooks, we signed him. And it's like, where what happened? Like,
yeah.
I don't, but like people will say, like CD, for example, my favorite player, CD. When Jair shoved him, I'm talking full out shoved him. CD did nothing. Where's the fight?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing. They're showing highlights. It must be it's 21-17, 48-32. God. Adam Schefter thinks Mike McCarthy is going to be gone. So that's what he's saying. And he's usually.
If they really do fire
let me see something, Steve. I don't know if you can. Biggest surprise, Jerry Jones. Most painful loss. He's not going to get any coaching stuff right now.
That means it's over.
Yeah, from coaching or players. So they're talking about Dak Prescott and they're talking about any.
I really do think they're gone.
So they're talking about it now with Jerry. Jason Garrett's.
Well, let's see what Jason Garrett has to say.
He's trying to take the emotions out. We got someone hopping in here. We got Cuts by Jones.
What's up, Cuts?
By Jones, what's up, man? You there, Fred? Fred, you there? Fred, you might be on mute. You might check and see if your phone's mute. I can't hear you. But Jason Garrett's saying they got to take some patience. They got to see if they can get something going.
I mean, from what it's sounding like, honestly, the best decision, no disrespect, I think we ride with either Lance or we draft a quarterback. I just think we got to look at budget-wise.
No, I think that's where the hard part, the hard decisions are going to come.
Because, I mean, we have CD to pay. We have DeRon Bland to pay. We have Micah to pay. I mean, why we pay Dak $50 million a year when I can use Lance and just dip and dunk the whole time, and he can run.
Yeah. Fred, if you can hear me, just start talking, and I'll tell you if I can hear you. Yeah.
Lance, look at Lance's career, 3rd overall pick. He's had 2 games. Like,
no,
I don't think he really had a fair shot. Like,
he hasn't, and so he's been sitting back there. So I'll ask you what Ultra said. Ultra, I mean, he's been on the Dak regular season great, postseason. He's not delivering. He's been on that for a while. So if you do that, are you good with Trey Lance and draft a quarterback somewhere?
I'm good. Oh
And go
yeah,
with Lance.
I'm good with Lance, and I personally, I'm a big. I'm not gonna be biased, but I think Penix would be a great pick. Michael Penix. I mean, that dude's a beast, and he can throw. I don't care what that national championship game,
He
whatever.
didn't look that good against Michigan.
Look at him versus Texas and all the other games. Bo Nix, what about Oregon? Oregon had this fast defense. Michael Penix threw all over him.
Yeah. Well, let me answer, Suzanne. I think the thing that they saw with Lance is if Dak Prescott got injured, Trey Lance for long term, Trey Lance was going to be your quarterback. I think for a backup role, they were just going to roll with Trey Lance, and just kind of use this as a regular year for him. That's what they were going to do. One sec, Mike. That's what they were going to do with Trey Lance. Mike, you agree or disagree?
No, I agree. I think you either ride with Lance, you traded a 4th round pick for him, see what he's got, and you just draft a late round quarterback like Joe Milton. Joe Milton from Tennessee. He would be a great late round quarterback to snag. Big, and he can throw.
Yeah. Kelly's head's still down. He's still depressed.
I'm depressed too. I was listening to Marvin's Room earlier.
Yeah, it was very disappointing. But Kelly, we were talking about Trey Lance, and again, I'll put the number up if anyone wants to call in. Your opportunity to call in, or you can go in through the chat. But I mean, what say you? We talked a little bit on the phone. We're talking about the quarterback. I know you said your piece about Dak. There's got to be something. So if you're gonna say that, we got to have an answer. So what is your answer, Trey Lance, or what?
I mean, for now, I think you could still maybe go out and try to draft a guy, but for now, I think that's your answer. I just, I don't feel like you invest that type of money into a quarterback that you know what the results are going to be year in and year out. I feel like that's the definition of insanity because Dak Prescott's going to demand a very big contract, man, because of the numbers that he's put up. And that's the thing is that, they're going to sit there and be like, well, Dak Prescott's agent is going to argue, well, this is his 3rd year, 12-5. He's won 2 division title or won 2 NFC East titles. None of that means anything, man. None of that means anything. All that means is that we're investing money into a quarterback that's going to give us the same result year in and year out. And my whole thing with Dak is, we sat there and we talked about how it was Kellen Moore. That was our scapegoat last year, was Kellen Moore, right? And this year it's Dak, or it's he's got a new offensive coordinator.
Still it's McCarthy. McCarthy is going to fall on the sword. If Dak stays, then it's McCarthy falling on the sword,
which is wrong.
And it will be, but my thing is, why is it the same result? You've got a different play caller, and you still are seeing the same things. You're still seeing the same things from the same quarterback. It's the same ultimate end result. We've seen this same thing. Dak can't move the ball. Dak turning the ball over. I don't think a new play caller is going to change that for Dak Prescott.
I don't think. Do you think it was a play calling in this game? I don't think.
He was not himself because he was hesitating, throwing ball into triple coverage, and it's like, what? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like him and CD were off all game. I don't care what those late stats tell me. They were off all game.
They were off. Yep.
All says DQ needs and DQ's gone. I mean,
DQ's gone.
I think see him getting a head coaching job. Do you think someone's going to give him a head coaching job? I mean, I guess they would, but I just
Seattle probably would.
Yeah,
but I think Al Harris, it will probably be the defensive coordinator.
And Al Harris is from my hometown.
I think so. I think that's probably.
He's a good. I mean, he has those DBs on lockdown.
He has but is he a good? I mean, you're talking about scheming a whole defense and play. I mean, do you feel? I mean, is he ready for? And I don't know. I'm just asking.
Who else is out there?
I mean, there's defensive. I mean, are you good with just elevating one? And I mean, he's been in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I'm
think
fine with it.
Al Harris would be good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against that. If there, I would at least look into. I would at least
So,
look
yeah, I
into
would look into
maybe look in to see if there's some other people out there as well as him. I would give him a shot. I wouldn't just hand him the job and be like, hey, it's automatically yours. But Dan Quinn, the defense has been it's been good statistically under him, but in some pretty big moments, that defense is coming up short. And, that's disappointing to see. So very, very disappointing to see what they did this year and how dude, Green Bay just went. That looked like Aaron Rodgers out there. That looked better than Aaron Rodgers.
I said those.
Thing is his number. I mean, his completion percentage was off the charts.
Well, I mean, his players were wide open. How did that happen? Why?
No, I don't know.
Like, I don't understand how it gets that bad.
Go ahead.
Especially multiple times. I mean, multiple plays, wide open. Like that tight end, a tight end wide open. How does that happen? Like when the first drive, we had him 39. Jordan Love's running all over, and they find Romeo Doubs wide open. How?
Yeah.
We have Bland and Gilmore. How did just play man? Like, I don't understand why we're trying to play zone. And then why was Micah in coverage?
Did that make any sense to you, Kelly?
No, man. No, it didn't. I couldn't help but sit there and watch that game though, and I kept thinking about Mikey, man. I thought about how Green Bay has that conversation about how he had PTSD due to Green Bay, and that continued on. It continued on, and you know what? The PTSD that he has experienced has started to set in with me, man. I'm starting to be like.
But the worst part is my friend is a Packers fan, so he's spamming my phone three times in the playoffs. 3. We could have all been heartbreaks. Everyone.
Let me ask you guys this, and especially you guys in the chat still hanging with us. I don't know what you guys do, but I have a lot of friends, and we all like different teams. I've never, and if they find it, you guys follow the show, and you can put it on Twitter and you can blast me. I've never tweeted them after a loss, or I've never tweeted them any negative thing after a game. But I get people that I haven't talked to in years that message me, send me a picture, send me this, send me that, and post stuff on my Facebook or post stuff on this and that. And I don't even talk to them. It's not like we're shit talking and then, I'm getting mine back. And it just infuriates me. I don't understand why they do it. They think they're funny. So I ended up unfriending some people because I'm like, I don't need that shit. I mean, I'm done with it. If you're talking noise to each other, fine. But if you're just going to come out every 3 years and I never talk to you, and when your team just got their ass whooped the day before, and then you're going to come talk about my team, then I just kind of like lose interest in it. So I don't know, Kelly, do you get much of that? And then Mikey, I'll let you answer next. Kelly, do you get a lot of that or no?
Yeah, I mean, I do, man. But like, I don't know, man. I got people that were messaging me during the game before it was over. Before it was halftime, I was getting messages and people sending me laughing emojis. And by that time, honestly, I was kind of numb. I honestly, I don't hate to sound like, I don't want to sound like that person, but I felt that this game was done in the first quarter.
Oh, it was. It was.
I think I sent a couple of text messages to a few people indicating that I thought that it was over. And what I got back was, they're like, no, it's not over, man. You got to keep the faith and don't give up and this and that. And I said, no. I've seen this too many times. Too many times, man.
Hey, we got a caller. We got a caller, Kelly. We got to show love to the callers.
Oh.
Who do we got?
All right.
Hey, it's Joe. It's Joe again. I've been listening to you all night, man.
Oh, what's up, man?
A couple things.
Yeah.
This is just depressing. Okay, so a couple things. First off, in the fan thing, I want to say something that I always have a rule. You want to talk shit all year, that's fine. When it's the postseason, you don't do it. Especially, it's just not a cool thing to do. We invest a lot of time into your team for 17 weeks. And the last thing you want to hear from is a fan from another team talking shit. Oh, your team lost, you suck. Because people in this society today, like to see failure. They like to see teams fail. They like to see people miserable, and they don't like happiness.
Well,
that's
my
the
thing is,
right?
these are
When
people
fans
I don't
do
even talk to. I haven't talked to some
Right.
of them in years, and they only come at me
Right.
whenever Dallas loses. Is when the only time I ever hear
Right.
from them.
Right. And I'll be honest, I had Giant fans texting me tonight. I am so sorry. They actually felt bad for me. I am sorry. So I give those people credit. You know, you got people sending videos of their kids saying, "Oh, Cowboys suck." Like, get a life. Like, what are we doing here? Like, seriously, are we really doing this? Halftime show was very interesting tonight. Jason Garrett said there's going to be some changes coming in Dallas, and I forgot who the other gentleman was. He thinks Bill Belichick's the next coach. Like,
Is it Florio? Is that who it is, Mikey? Florio? Is he on the NBC? It wasn't Florio?
No, it was someone else. I don't know who he was.
Okay.
The comment he made was, it's going to be Bill Belichick, he said. And he said that he will promise you, if Bill Belichick is available, you get him, because they will never show up at the playoff game that unprepared again. Yeah. You know, and I'm going back and forth in the Dak thing. Dak, with his contract up this year, where are we with him? Like, what? He can't come back. How? I mean, what concerns me, though, if we get rid of Dak, there's some drastic changes. I think we had the opportunity of a lifetime, and I think we threw it away.
Yeah.
And now we may be rebuilding for him. We might be back. We could be going back to Dave Campo days coming up here. Like, this is.
And I love Dave Campo. I'm not blaming Dave Campo for those years. He's a friend of the show. He was given a shitty hand. Of course. He was given a shitty hand by Jerry Jones.
He was. He was. But that's what concerns me here, though, going forward, though.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
So what's the immediate answers right now? Because
let's ask Kelly, because I wanted Kelly and then Mike, let them respond to what you said. Bill Belichick, Kelly, what is your, and hold on one second. Guys, if you're calling, I got someone calling from Durham. Give me a minute. As soon as we hang up with the caller, call right in. I don't have a board that I can take a bunch of calls. It's one at a time, so I apologize. But go ahead, Kelly. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, you're good, man. So to the Bill Belichick thing, I would say this. Bill Parcells was too much for Jerry Jones. So how does the Bill Belichick thing really work, in my opinion, unless Jerry is willing to take more of a back seat? Because the thing with Belichick is, when he was with the Patriots, he basically had full control of that team. He was basically like the head coach and the GM. He had player personnel. I mean, he was the guy. He controlled, like, he had huge, like, who they drafted, who was their DC, OC, all this stuff. And you look at Jerry Jones. I mean, dude, when he hired Mike McCarthy, he was kind of like, all right, but you got to keep Kellen Moore on. I mean, I don't think Bill Belichick goes for that. And it just, Bill Belichick, I think he's a great coach. And I don't think he would come underprepared like this to this game, that what we saw. But I just don't know if him and Jerry Jones are a very good mixture, because I feel like Robert Kraft is a reverse Jerry Jones. He sat back and let Bill do what Bill was going to do. Jerry Jones is like, I mean, how often? I mean, Jerry Jones has got his own damn show where he's like showing up once a week talking about this, talking
he's on
about
twice
that.
a week on radio shows.
Twice a week. I mean, Jerry Jones is just very involved. I don't know that that's Bill Belichick's style. I just, it sounds nice. I don't think that it works, though. And not in this dynamic that we have with Jerry Jones as our owner. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mikey, who do we get?
Well, let me ask Mikey anything. Do you anything you disagree with Kelly on Belichick? Are you all in? Are you think if Belichick were to come in? Is that an option?
I mean, of course they're going to say Belichick to Dallas because we're the Cowboys and we draw attention. But there is nothing more than ESPN or NFL Network would want more than Belichick to come to Dallas, just because of the attention he would get in Dallas.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the move, just because, one, he's like 74. And how long would he even be here? We need a guy that's young who's going to be here long term. I don't want a guy that's going to be here for 2 years and leave.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I'll throw a name out there to you guys and call her Joe, right? Is it Joe?
Yes.
Yeah. Harbaugh. Would you have interest?
I wouldn't.
I was just about to say it. I wouldn't be against it.
Mikey,
I wouldn't be against
Joe,
it.
take him. Mikey, you're against it?
No, I would love Jim Harbaugh. He's been to the dance.
He's been to the Super Bowl. He just won a national title. He had a very successful NFL coaching career. He's interviewing. I think the Chargers want to talk to him. So he's definitely open to coming back to the NFL. He would be a guy that has got some juice. He's got some energy. I think he could bring a culture, kind of a shock thing. He was a quarterback. So if you move on from a quarterback or keep Dak, whatever they end up doing, then you got a guy there. I don't know. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's an option.
I mean, even that Raiders coach wouldn't be a bad option.
You gotta make a splash.
No, they got to make a splash. They definitely do. I'm with you, Joe. I'm with you, man. But I got another guy I've been calling, trying to call a million times. But I appreciate it, Joe.
Okay.
All right, thanks, brother.
All right,
all right, bye.
Call from
Matt.
Matt, you there?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, sorry. I don't have a board. I saw you call, and I don't have a board thing where I can go back and forth. So I apologize. What's happening, man?
Brother.
What's happening?
And well, I'm hurt like everybody else, man. I'm trying to get through the emotional side and think about how do we move forward, like all faithful Cowboy fans are. I don't know if. I just don't know if Dak is it, man. I love Dak. If you look at Dak, he just has this lost look in his eyes when we need him the most. And it's easy in the regular season because there's always next Sunday. There's not next Sunday in the playoffs. He doesn't have that killer mentality. And, I'm watching the Rams game. They moved on from Stafford, they traded for Stafford. They got to the Super Bowl. They lost people. They're back in the playoffs. Dallas has this just. I don't even know, man. I really don't even know. I don't.
Well,
Mike
I mean,
McCarthy
they're making it. They're making it to the playoffs. They're just not doing anything. I mean, they've made it. This is the first time. I hate to keep bringing up the '90s, but this is the first time since that '90s era where they've made the playoffs more than 3 years in a row.
It is.
And
it is.
And they were the number 2 seed, but like you said, Dak he just didn't, and I'm not going to put the whole loss on him because again, the defense gave up a lot of points. They got gashed.
Why do we switch the zone?
I don't know.
I never understood that one either.
Man, all year long, and it worked all year long. You have a top 5 defense running man, and then you switch the zone for what? For what?
Yeah, it didn't.
It was embarrassing.
Of course, nobody is Jerry. Nobody can make the decisions Jerry makes. I love Dak. Thank you for the winning culture that you brought. Thank you for. I appreciate the person Dak is.
Yeah.
He's a role model.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. I want a Super Bowl, man. I want to get there. You can't get us there. That's fine. Romo couldn't do it. We thought you could. You can't do it. If I'm Jerry right now, and I'm going to get criticized for this. I've already been getting criticized for this on Twitter. I feel the same way about Micah Parsons. I know he gets double teamed. I know he gets triple teamed, but it's a lack of effort. I don't care what anybody says. It is a lack of effort with him. If he's not getting sacked, tell me what he does.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go that far. I'll let you handle that on Twitter yourself.
I stay off them.
That's what I mean, man. I love the kid. I do. I'm trading him right now, and I'm moving up and I'm drafting Drake May from UNC. Period.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get a boatload of picks and you could do what they did for Deshaun Watson or something like that, but I just don't know. I mean, he's a generational kind of player. He's an impact guy. I just don't know, man. He does a lot for that defense. I mean, he is getting triple teamed. He takes a lot of attention. My question would be is who's stepping up? If he's getting all that attention, you would think there's other guys that should be stepping up and handling it. And so I don't want to put that on him. Your point on Dak, I mean, Kelly, you jump in and or Mikey, tell me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I don't have much of an argument. Kelly or Mikey, what do you think on Dak? And then, I mean, I know you said your piece.
I don't have any argument when it comes to Dak. I'm ready to move on today. If they cut him tomorrow morning, I would thank him for his time. Again, I'll reiterate that I think Dak is a great human being. I think that he's a good person. I think that he is he's a guy that can get you some regular season wins, but he has really shown me nothing. His rookie season, he had that good. In that rookie season, he had a good game against Green Bay. That was not a bad playoff game. But if you think about it, even in that game, we got down because he couldn't move the ball. But then he engineered a good comeback to get us back there, and got us back to where we needed to be. But if you think about it, we were kind of down in that game because of his play.
I think we were down in that particular game because of Aaron Rodgers diced up our deep. We had zero defense.
No, so, you're right. The defense didn't do great, but when
game,
yeah. No, and I'm not arguing that the defense did. They collapsed that game, but if you think about it, when Dak did get the chances to get the ball, he didn't do anything with the ball until like that second half. Dak started really. That's when he started coming back. Was that second half? The first half, Dak and the offense were non-existent, which is why the defense was getting slaughtered. So, I mean, I thought he played good in the Seattle game, 2018. I thought he had a good game that game, but I mean, Dak is just, let's just face it, man, as Cowboys fans, we can all look at this and say he's been a very underwhelming quarterback when it comes to playoff performances. So at the end of the day, man, it's been, we have to look at it, man, that Dallas has been, it has been a very long time since we've hoisted up a Lombardi trophy, and we went through a lot of things. We've done this, we've done that, but you can't keep running it back with, because I feel like, all right, well, Dak had he had Kellen Moore. We got rid of Kellen Moore. We brought in Mike McCarthy. Then we're like, oh, the offense looks great with Mike McCarthy. Then here we go, coming to the playoffs. And then here's Dak again, throwing the ball to the wrong team again. Yeah. Like we've seen this unfold, and I've lost all my confidence in Dak.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to. That was a good physical play by the. I would just say that was a hell of a play by the defense. He had a right for the ball.
We shouldn't have been running that. Brandon Cook shouldn't have been running that route anyway. He's too small, and then have Jair Alexander on him. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I didn't understand that throw.
Well, let me give you one last comment in, and then I was gonna. We got. Can I grab this other call? All right, man. All right, brother. I appreciate it.
Man.
See you.
I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for calling.
Call from
John.
I'm just going to answer him like this. I ain't trying to go off air. It is what it is. Oh, we lost John. I picked him up, and then he left me. Try and call back, John, if that was you.
I wouldn't be opposed to drafting Penix. I wouldn't.
Would you? I mean, but is he going to be there at 25? Is that guy there?
Oh, yeah, he will.
I saw trade Parsons in your number one to get up to the Bears.
Why would we trade Parsons?
I'm not on that. I don't know if I'm on that train or not. I mean, Kelly.
I'm not there yet. But Parsons needs to stop talking during the week. If that's one thing he needs to do is stop talking during the week, because he gets us all hyped up wearing Bobby Boucher jersey and he does nothing. Like what? Like, how you gonna talk all this smack on a podcast and do nothing? Like, I look at a team like the Packers. Remember when they drafted Love? What are they doing? Oh my God! Like, Aaron Rodgers just won MVP. Why on earth would you draft Jordan Love in the first round? You need a receiver. Now look at him.
Yeah. The only thing on Parsons, and I got I got educated on it. They said it's just the mindset and the way the kids grow up. And Mikey, you're a young man, and you're closer to Parsons' age than I am. It's the jersey swap after getting the shit beat out of you in San Francisco. That, I mean, I come back.
He
to
didn't
that.
seem happy when he did it, though.
I understand he didn't seem happy. And again, I'm a boomer. I understand that, but it's just and they said the players today, they're just a different mentality. And I think it's cool. Like, you've got players that are, Wanye Thomas is playing PlayStation against people and this and that. So you're getting a lot of here we go. Let's try this one more time.
I just think it's more of a this podcast. Like, I don't mind doing the podcast, fine, but do it in the off season. You're gonna do it every week, talk all this smack on the podcast, and you show up and do nothing.
No, I get it. John, are you there this time? Did I lose you? I keep losing John.
love Parsons.
Maybe he's prank calling me.
He's got to
keeps
stop.
hanging up every time I answer. I'm just going to call him back. How about that? I'll just call him back.
Tank too. He's one of those people too.
Mark,
I'll say the thing about. I was just going to say the thing I'd say about Parsons, man, is that if you're going to talk the talk, we better walk the walk.
Walk, exactly. I don't see the 49ers talking during the week.
Trying to reach. Can I ask what you're calling about?
Is this John? You've been calling the Cowboys cave? Oh, all right. Well, maybe it ain't you. Quit calling me then. All right, never mind.
But even like I said, Tank, like Lawrence. Oh, we're gonna hit him in the mouth. That's what we're gonna do.
Well, talk is cheap.
Like how you say that, and you get stomped.
Here we got. Now there's a Texan. So I know we got someone here.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Hey, what's up, man?
Mike Tag.
What's up? Who's this?
Is this Kelly 9?
Kelly K9's here. You got Mike Tag. Mike is here.
This is AJ Olivares. I tweet you sometimes.
Cool, man.
What's up, AJ?
So
watch.
I just wanted to put in.
AJ, real quick. Can you turn down your computer because I can hear? We're getting background.
I just turned it down, but then I can't hear you guys.
No, well, you can hear me now. You can hear me now, can't you?
Oh, that's true. I can hear you on the phone. That was dumb. Okay. Sir, hi, I'm AJ. Nice to meet you. I wanted to just, play it out, right? Let's pretend Dak comes back and Mike McCarthy comes back. It's going to be the most uncomfortable hot seat thing you've ever seen in your life. You know, if they decide to do that, if they actually decide to do that, that's going to be the most hot seat, uncomfortable situation. Everything's going to be uncomfortable and weird. Definitely Dak doesn't get extended. I think that would be a toxic environment, number one. And then number two, if you play it the other way, if you bring Dak back and this is all craziness, and everyone says, oh no, it's just one game. Oh no, let's bring him back, blah, blah, blah. And they focus on the win. At this time next season, you get zero compensation for that. Zero. At this time next year. Versus where if you make a move this year, the chances of getting a first round pick are high, or maybe even 2 picks. I'm just saying, play it out, the options, those are options. I'm not saying which one is the best option. I mean,
are you saying that to run it back with just everything?
I agree with Kelly 9 because we're kind of the same age, and I actually agree that it feels like we've hit a ceiling. But I'm just saying, if you could play it, objectively, both sides, and actually play it out in your head and look at how each scenario is going to be. I could just see it right now. If Mike McCarthy and Dak, every time we lose a game, every time he throws an interception, they're going to be like, I told you we should have fired him. I mean, they're going to say that every time for a whole year. I think we're to a point where we might not have a choice. Now, I'm with Kelly 9. And I actually jumped off of that ship and was buying into the whole the new system. He's making plays. He elevated his game. I chose to ignore Buffalo, even though I knew that it looked exactly like how he looks when he played San Francisco. But listen, I think we're past the point of no return here. I mean, I might be wrong. Nice to meet y'all. Thanks for the time, okay?
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, AJ. No, and Liz, I'm going to say one thing. I agree with that 100%. He's Kelly K. I know he was calling me Kelly.
I like that.
Hey, Kelly 9, he knows. He follows me. We
I like
interact
how
on
he
Twitter,
said
but
that he's your age, like I'm like 100, like I'm 20 years older than you.
Mike's like 10,000 years older than me. No, I'm just joking. No, look, man, listen, the thing is, man, is that, and I just feel like there is no way in hell you can sell this Cowboys fan base another year of Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott. I just don't think there is, man. I don't think you can do it, man. I don't think that you can do that. A change has to be made, whether it's with the quarterback or whether it's with the head coach. And me personally, I feel like it needs to be both, because I don't have confidence in McCarthy. I don't care who you give him at quarterback. I just don't have confidence. I've seen too much, and I don't have confidence in Dak anymore. I have confidence in him. I really have. I've seen the same thing play out. And what he said that really resonated with me there was the Buffalo game, because I think I felt the same way. I watched that Buffalo game, and I remember thinking to myself, this is the Dak that we see in the playoffs. This is the Dak that we saw against San Francisco.
Mhm.
This is the Dak that scares me. This is the Dak that just is like Tommy Boy in the movie when he's trying to make a sale and he's got that little and just like, that's Tommy Boy. Just, this is my new pet and I love it. And that's Dak in the playoffs, man. He's Tommy Boy with the biscuit trying to make the sale. That's Dak Prescott, man. And we've seen it. And we've just seen it time and time again. How many times can you get smacked upside the head before eventually you duck? You know what I'm saying? And it's like with Dak Prescott, Cowboys fans, we just ain't ducked. We've been hitting the head multiple times, like boom, 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 boom. This is the year. No, this is the year. And we have rode for him for so long. And I think a lot of it is because it's a good story. He's a good guy.
Great guy.
He's a guy that you want to root for,
all
all the adversity and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, man, we go for wins, man. We don't go for good stories. We don't go for a good guy. We go for Super Bowls, man. And if Dak's not the guy that's going to get us there, it's time to move on. So I really do. I want to move on from Dak Prescott. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know who the guy is going to be, but I know that you can't bring me back Dak Prescott next year and expect me to eat that up again. You're not going to bring back expired food and put it on my plate and expect me to eat that shit up again. I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the team has to look, like Jerry has to look at it from a budget standpoint. Like, we have other people, young people to pay, young players to pay. Why? Dak is 30. You have to look at it like that. I'm not paying him $50 million a year to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not. We have CD to pay. We have Micah to pay.
And
Bland.
To what people said, ultra, in particular, we talked about it, is there's talent on this team. The thing I'll say is, and all joking, Bobby with Philly, they said would have ran Dak out years ago. They probably would have. They want to run Jalen Hurts out this year. They want him gone. They want Sirianni gone. They want Howie gone.
They can't let him go with that contract.
Well, no, I'm just saying, is they got no patience, and that's fine. Maybe there's something. That's why I joked. I used to make fun of Philly. Maybe there's something to be said to that. And then you look. Jared Goff. I'm just trying to think. Didn't he go? He went to the Super Bowl, right? With the Rams?
But he was a first overall pick.
No, but I'm just. Yeah. I just want to say that the Rams moved on from him. Now they got Stafford, but they weren't afraid to make any changes. I'm saying is. Some teams will make some changes. Look at the 49ers. 49ers drafted Trey Lance third. They had him and they were paying him. Brock Purdy came in, very small sample size. He just came in right the last part of last year. They moved on from Trey Lance like it was no problem. And I'm not saying Dak, is as bad as them or whatever it was. I'm just saying his organizations make tough decisions sometimes.
And Jimmy Garoppolo too.
They moved on from him. They make tough decisions. It was all Jimmy does is win, right? So it can be done and you can be successful. The Rams ended up winning the Super Bowl. The Lions end up getting Goff, and life maybe isn't so bad. They're up 24-20. It looks like a good game. So there's opportunity for it's not the end of the day. It's not like we're going to be 1-15 if you didn't have Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
If you had Baker Mayfield, if you
I
had
was gonna say
one of
Baker.
those second tier quarterbacks, how would this? If you had Kirk Cousins, if you had whatever it is, I mean, are you worse off, better off, or the same? I don't know, but you might at this point you might want to try something.
I think our best bet is a draft a rookie. Right? I mean, you have him for 5 years. You just ride it out, see what he does, and I just don't see extending Dak with the way he. I mean, he had a good season, but I mean, he's done the same thing in the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
Every year, and he loses to the same teams. Has he ever beaten the 49ers in the playoffs? No. Has he ever beaten Green Bay? No. Like, he will lose to the same teams. Like, that's the crazy part. He doesn't beat Green Bay. He doesn't beat the 49ers.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kelly.
I'll say this about that. When it comes to going with the rookie quarterback, right, and kind of like tearing this thing down and rebuilding, right. I'll say this, man. I can accept being a young team in a rebuilding phase and not being very good.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly could accept that for the next 2 years, maybe year and a half, 2 years, however long that may take, 2 years, 3 years to kind of build this thing back up. I don't know. Maybe it goes quicker. Maybe it takes a little longer, whatever. I can take that over doing the same thing every year with the same guy and getting the same result.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we sit there and we always get mad at the haters or Stephen A. Smith or Shannon Sharp or or Shady, whoever it may be that talks about the Cowboys. But in the end of the day, they kind of got a point, right? Just wait, because that Dak is gonna show up. They've been talking about it. They don't trust Dak. And they've been saying it all year, and they've been consistent with it all year. They don't trust Dak. They're like, when it matters the most, Dak will let you down. And and we've sat there and we've tried to talk ourselves out of it. We have, and we've given it out, and we've talked about play calling. We've talked about wide receivers that he's had, the playmakers that he's got. Doesn't have enough help on this or that or that. I mean, countless excuses have been made for Dak Prescott. At what point do you just look at it and go, he is what he is? He's a good regular season quarterback that cannot perform against some of the better teams in the league. And when the playoffs come, he will play his worst game, guaranteed. Because that's what he showed us more often than not. He had the flash in the pan his rookie year. I get it. He didn't play horrible against Green Bay. He had that good game in 2018. But what we have seen more often than not in recent memory is Dak Prescott folding like a lawn chair in a South Beach retirement home.
Yeah.
Folding. That's what we've been seeing. So I would rather take a rookie quarterback and an unproven team and lose games trying to rebuild that chemistry and rebuild that roster and rebuild us back up to being what we want us to be than to keep repeating the same history with Dak Prescott as our quarterback. That's what I think. And you know what, Dak, I wish you well. I hope that you have a great season, with the New York Jets as their quarterback, or whoever the hell you may go to, but it's not going to be with the Cowboys, because I've seen enough, and I'm fine. I'm fine doing that. I'm fine with that reality.
I agree. I mean, especially with 9 All-Pros. 9 All-Pros. And you get blown out like that.
Yeah.
Like, embarrassed at home. Everyone, we're all saying, man, 16-0 at home. This is it. And they get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Embarrassed. From start to finish. It was a complete embarrassment to the team and the players.
Yeah. No. I mean, there's and it's, what do you do? Yeah. I mean, we've been beating a dead horse with that. And it'll play itself out. It's going to be interesting. I think they're going to have to do something quickly.
They got to make tough decisions.
They're going to have to make some decisions sooner than later, because you've got a fan base that is going to be absolutely. I mean, we've been going 2.5 hours. I mean, there's a long show. I mean, and there's been a lot of anger. There's been a lot of, but hopefully, look, I mean, we all could be pissed off, but at the end of the day, obviously we got to go to work the next day. So what are you going to do? But it's just, I think when you're starting to become numb to this, and I guess that's where I'm kind of leaning towards is when I'm like, I'm starting to just get used to it. And that's not a good feeling. And that's not something you want your fan base to have, because when you start to have that is when that ticket thing gets ready to come up. I'm like, maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't. The example I'll give is Miami. I used to have season tickets to Miami when they signed Cristobal. I'd given the seats up, and then when they got Cristobal, man, I was all in. We got season tickets. We drove down to the games, and we got our ass whooped by Middle Tennessee. We got our ass whooped by North Carolina. We got our ass whooped by Pitt. I mean,
Florida State. Oh my God, I was at that game. That was the most depressing game I ever had to watch in real life.
But the next year, they're like, "Hey, you want your tickets?" I said, "Hell no, man! I'm done with that shit." and I said, "That's what the Cowboys got to be careful of." Jerry's about the money, but they got to be. I mean, it's not cheap to go to these games, and if you're going to go knowing the end result's going to be there, and there's not much hope, I don't know how excited you are going to be taking them trips. That's all I'm saying is they better do something to restore some hope in the fan base, because right now you've got a broken fan base that doesn't have a whole lot of confidence in the team right now.
Well, I mean, it's just consistent with the 3 years we made the playoffs, 3 years, and we haven't done nothing, zero,
nothing.
No,
it's either we get embarrassed. I mean, I don't understand how you lose with all these talent that we have. With the talent we have, there's no reason we're not in the championship game. This was the team. They had the easiest road to at least the NFC Championship game. At least that.
Yep.
Oh,
and
no, it was
blown out in the first round.
It was
set up. No one saw that. I didn't even see that.
I mean, we were already making plans on heading to Dallas next week.
Bro, like me and Dad were talking. We're like,
I had to cancel my flight. Halftime, I canceled my flight, canceled the hotels and everything.
And I'm watching the game, and it's like they score.
I was gonna say, did you get your mic?
The flight, I get a flight credit, so I made sure I went on a plane that I could take for work when I do work trips, so I'll be able to get my reimbursement back for that. And then the hotel I was able to cancel because it's far enough in advance. So yeah, I'm not out anything. On a positive note, the only positive thing is I didn't go to the game. I don't know what I would have done if I was at the game today. I'm not sure how I would have been.
What is it with me in Green Bay?
Yeah.
I mean, every time it's an embarrassment. I don't care who the quarterback is.
Yeah. No.
It's just at the
it's bad.
It's bad. But hey, we've been going at it 2.5 hours. I don't know if we have anything to add. Just let everything kind of marinate. Is there anything you want to finish with, Kelly or Mike? Anything else you want to say?
I just want to say Canes on top. This is the year. Playoffs. Hey, it's 14 teams. 14 teams. Give me Cam Ward over anybody. We're beating Florida State. We're going to that game. Yeah. I'm excited to see Cam Ward.
Yeah. No, absolutely. What's up, Kelly? What's your final thoughts?
I'm on to Texas Tech basketball. That's my one bright spot in sports right now, man. That is about it, man. I'm just Cowboys fans, I just want you to know that you are not alone. You are not alone in this, man. We're one big therapy session, one big group, and it doesn't end with this, man. There's so much more to come when it comes to this offseason, moves to be made, things that will happen. We still got interviews with former Cowboys players that are going to come. Guys that bring a Super Bowl pedigree.
That's what we're talking about.
To the mix. Maybe some guys contagious to the Cowboys that are out there now trying to figure out what exactly the hell happened to them against those 9-8 Packers at home while we had the number 2 seed. maybe they can learn a little something from there. But I'll just say this, man, you know, at the end of the day, Cowboys fan for life. I hate saying that every year. It's like, maybe next year is the year. But you know what? It's the NFL. It's a cruel, cruel, cruel thing, man. And we play to win these championships. And this will be another year that has gone by where we have blown opportunity to do that. And all I can say is that we will all be back next year because that's what we are. We're fans. We're gluttons for punishment, and we'll be back to watch the Cowboys next year. So this ain't over. We're still running this thing out, man. And thank you for everybody that's been here for the whole season. And I hope you guys continue into the offseason. Keep this going. Like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends. Let them know that we're here. We're not going nowhere. And next year we'll be back, hopefully better than ever. But if not, maybe, it can't get any worse than it ended this year.
Hey, and just want to say thank you. And yeah, Lady Rover, we're going to be back out there. And congratulations, Sam. You got a baby girl on the way. That's obviously that's the most important thing. But understand, the cave isn't going anywhere. We're here. We continue to do our live shows. We're going to continue to go through the draft, go through the offseason, go through that. So we will be your therapy session throughout this. We're going to make sure, listen, you give us an opportunity. At least I'll speak for me. Kelly, we'll see. We got to work on him again. I build him up. I'm going to make sure you guys are positive and you guys are feeling good going into the season next year. I think there's going to be some change. There's going to be some tough decisions that got to be made. So we're going to go through it, but definitely continue to follow the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms. It's been a lot of fun, and we could, the season ended much too soon for us, any of our likings, but we've got champions coming in. Tony Hill, Super Bowl champion. James Washington, 2-time Super Bowl champion, working on some other ones. So during the offseason, we're going to fill you up with a lot of Cowboy interviews, kind of look back in time, go back and also look ahead. So stick with us. It's tough. We're going to lick our wounds. We're going to get things back. But I definitely appreciate everyone hopping in. And just to confirm, Edgar, Cam Ward didn't declare for the draftee. They thought he was. He's in Miami. He committed to Miami, right? Nothing's changed since then, Mikey?
Nope.
Yeah, he committed to Miami.
He already signed the papers. He already got the papers. He already got this.
He got paid, I'm sure. He's going to be on the U. So definitely appreciate all the support, guys, for everything. It's been a tough day. I owe you guys, and we owe you. Hopefully, we did something for you guys, but it was some good therapy. So I appreciate it. I'm not going to leave you with any ending because I'm too depressed. So we'll get out of here. You guys have a good one. Take care.
Have a good one, y'all.